What is up, everybody? We are so glad to be back for summer vacation. Again, we are here in West Virginia. First time ever being in West Virginia for the National Rock Racing Association, so we're super excited about that. Again, I am so glad. It feels like we've been on vacation for a year.
Everybody that I've talked to is like, our last race feels like it was last year.
It does.
Not April.
I guess just that long a time being in the bouncer, out there thrashing with it. I know the Visions event, we had a few guys go to the Visions event, so they were doing some racing, but again, seeing our race family, it's been such a long time. It does feel like a million years,
We are glad to be back. We're glad to have you guys joining us here on Hillside Live, and we are at Good Evening Ranch in West Virginia, like Matt mentioned. And I got to go make some new friends this morning. They have donkeys and horses and goats here at Good Evening Ranch, so I was out making friends and petting the goats.
Well, and they also used to have some friends you might not want to have seen. Justin said that back in the back you can find the 30-foot tall fence because this used to be an exotic animal range, I guess. So they had lots of very exotic animals.
I did notice some extra tall fences. I was like, wow, those horses must be really good jumpers, or else that's not for a horse fence.
He said you'll come to like a 30-foot fence with a giant
I didn't
hole.
see that one.
It looks like something out of Jurassic Park.
I was going to say, he was like, they got a T-Rex back there.
Yeah, then he showed me the helipad that now doubles as a wedding venue.
Oh.
I was like, okay, cool.
All kinds of stuff going on out here at the Good Evening Ranch. Well, we are glad to be here, glad to be back with you guys. We are going to kick things off with all of our same classes as usual, in spite of what felt like the really long break for all of us. We've got our Rock Life Off-Road UTV stock class that's going to be starting us off. There goes DC
Thompson. You got to love that guy.
And then we'll go into our RCV Axle Unlimited UTV class, and then we've also got our VIN class today. And we have an interview. We got to chat with Gatlin Wheels about her joining the VIN class, stepping up from the youth class to the VIN class. Today will be her first race, so we'll show that to you guys a little bit later on as well.
And watching her and her dad was co-driving for her, Justin Wills, who also races a big bouncer and has raced that same Jeep in 4600 before in the Ultra 4 Series. Watching them kind of go out and kind of play this morning was super cute. Again, I was like, it was so neat to see him in a big Jeep. At one point, they got hung up on a rock and had to back up and kind of look at some line choices. And I think you're going to see a lot of that today. A lot of the side-by-side drivers out this morning were definitely mapping out the course, chatting, and then every once in a while after they got done chatting, somebody would run and hop on the rig and kind of make a quick pass to see if what they were discussing was doable. So we saw that several times this morning, and again, it's
pretty rocky out here.
Yes.
The UTVs are going to be in front of the trailer. What's behind us will be tomorrow for the bouncers, but you can still see how rocky it is up in there. If you've ever been to Adventure Off-Road Park in Tennessee, I would say it's kind of similar to that, and the rocky hills. Or maybe you've been here to Good Evening Ranch. If you have, let us know. We'll see who else has been out here before. But we've also got a stretch that goes through the field as well for
a little more high-speed section.
Yeah, we've got to keep everyone on their toes today. So we'll see what happens.
It is. I was kind of doing some research for the drawing, doing our pre-interview, and it's only 400 acres here. But they utilize every ounce of acreage here. Again, like I said, walking some of the courses this morning with the side-by-side, you can see where there's 4 little tiny orange dots, and usually that's for a cone. So they also do some rock crawling competitions here. And again, we were laughing, me and Clyde, a couple guys. You could literally, the course that's mapped out for the side-by-sides this afternoon, you could go race, and then this afternoon we could take all the tape down and make another course where no one would even touch the rock they did the first time.
Yeah.
So, again, you could have a lot of fun out here coming out if you're
very efficient.
Yes, if you were playing. Wow, look at that.
There's a view of our spectators and kind of some of the pit area, and then up there to the left you can see the orange tape, and up in there is the rocky wooded section. I also want to point out that it feels amazing out here today. There is a nice breeze. The rain last night cooled everything off. It's a little muddy, but hey, that means we're not going to be breathing in dust.
I will take that cool breeze any day of the week.
It feels great for a July afternoon, so we are definitely glad for that.
Again, Delta Drone Works giving us that beautiful drone shot there for us.
Friendly reminder, also make sure that you guys are watching from the Rock Racing TV Facebook page. If you want us to be able to see your comments and answer your questions and interact with you guys, that is where Matt and I are watching from and will be watching from in the future. So it's that Rock Racing TV, not the one that is a Rock Racing TV group, but the one that is the media broadcast page. If you are just checking when you put that name in, you'll notice the difference. But yep, we are watching from that page, and we want to be able to answer your questions and see your comments. So y'all head over there as well. All right, is this Jay Storts that we have on the line? I believe it is. We are ready to kick off here at Good Evening Ranch for the Rock Life Off-Road UTV stock class. Looks like Jay Storts on the line. Jay is actually leading in points right now for the stock class with 349 points.
All right, here we go.
He was definitely one paying attention during that driver's meeting this morning. Jay racing Ford Play, our big rock bouncer. Again, you can see.
No.
Hopefully, get backed off of there. Again, you can see off to the left side of that side-by-side how much rock is actually up there. Again, tons of terrain, tons of ledges. Oh, there's a great shot from the drone.
Oh, this is a very tough spot that Jay just found himself in. Between a rock and a hard place,
you can see him. Maybe he's going to try to push it off. Again, if he can recover himself, he is still allowed to race it.
As long as no one else has touched it and helped him, then
he's probably going to look and see how bad he's stuck.
Let's see what he can
Again,
do
there's
here.
Cody Kaysen walking up, and looks like see who else is walking up there. Cody's probably telling him. Again, Cody, as long as Cody does not physically assist him and help him wiggle it off, he can still continue to run. Again, Jay hopping out. Usually we have about a 2.5 minute time course.
But today, it's a 7-minute
Wow.
time limit. That will give you guys an idea of just how
7 minutes.
How the rocks are expected to cause some potential problems, as we are seeing right now for Jay Storts.
Look at Cody. Get
on,
up there.
you can do it.
I could just hear them two up there.
Yeah, maybe. Taylor's wondering if Clyde's been hanging out with the Ultra 4 crew for too long.
Yeah,
nice long
seven
courses with lots of crawling in there.
7 minutes. I mean, we're usually anywhere from 1.5 minutes to 2.5 minutes, depending on the course. I've seen up to 4. I think 7's probably the longest.
Now, to be fair, if it takes you 7 minutes,
you're not going to be on the podium.
Yeah, something's wrong. You're probably going to break before you get to that point.
He's wiggling it. And look at Cody.
Come on, Jay. I hope he's been doing his deadlifts. Man, he's trying. I'm not sure what he was planning to do when he went up there. If he thought he'd be able to just kind of whip it up and around.
I think he was trying just to hook it, kind of like
he slid right in there.
Kind of like the dirt bikes use that high bank oval or a dirt track guy would. Kind of come up, slide the rear end around, and slip around and keep going.
Well, I'll tell you what, everybody else that's about to go after Jay is paying close
attention. They are.
And they are going to find a different line.
Again, Jay is desperately trying to get it hung up off those rocks. And Jay, if you don't know Jay's no tiny guy. He's pretty strong. He has a pretty good bicep on him, so I think he could almost curl the front of that side-by-side off of there if he wanted to. Again, a lot of people are like, why would you sit there and smoke the tires? Well, a lot of guys run a sticky tire compound, so heating the tires up get them to grip a lot better. Again, you can see it kind of wiggling, trying to see if he can get it broke loose.
Of course, we can't see what's going on with his left front tire right now, so he might be down, down deep in some kind of crevice in the rocks.
Hooked around it. He may have broken axle. We may only have 3-wheel drive at this point. That's why he's so hung up.
Get out of there, Cody. Well, one thing's for sure. He's going to do everything he can and use up every bit of those 7 minutes that he's got allotted right now. We got Daniel Heckley up there, too. Man, the wheel speed.
Wow.
I can hear him through the headphones. That thing's working.
He is definitely getting it. Again, Knox up there with him.
Hey, Taylor.
Again, you can see several you can see several of our drivers there, and those drivers, this is one of the reasons I absolutely love our sport, and it makes me so, so happy. When you're a driver trying as hard as you can, and you have 3 of your competitors, guys you're trying to beat, up there cheering you on, helping you, give you pointers. It's so, so neat to see those 3 guys there kind of standing there, kind of trying to help him. Again, these are guys he's racing against. These are competitors trying to encourage him and give him the best guidance they possibly can. Again, you hate to see that. Jay could get hung up so early in the race, but I promise you, all those guys standing next to him are definitely paying attention to that as well.
Oh, yeah.
Man, you can hear the tires spinning through the headset. Again, there's also quite a bit of trails out here, so I know there's a lot of trail guys pulling in. Talked to a few guys. They were out, Justin and his crew out trail riding last night.
A steady stream of people heading down. I think they've heard the motors get started up, and they've heard the announcements that Zach's been making, and everyone's coming to check out the show. Although, unfortunately, the show has stalled out a little bit on the rocks right now. Oh, man, that's got to be so frustrating.
There is. And again, it's frustrating for Jay because he's a very fierce competitor. It's frustrating for his friends sitting next to him going, hey, we'd love to help you, but we can't touch it,
That's right.
So, again.
Looks like he might have timed out.
Okay. Or he might have just said, hey, so again.
Or said, I'm done.
Yeah, so he might have just said, hey, it's not going to happen.
Matt, I know I think I can say pretty confidently that everybody that's out here that has ever raced for any length of time has been in this position before.
Yes. Yeah.
Where you're stuck, you're turtled, you're something one way or another, and no matter how much you're trying to rock the buggy and you get your wheels, you get that wheel speed and you're trying to get them sticky, whatever.
Back and forth, side to side.
I've gotten stuck on top of a pile of tires at one of the fair tough truck challenges before. And it's just,
it is.
There was so much smoke, it filled up like the arena. I was just burning the tires down, trying to get off this
and you're doing everything you can.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
Oh, man.
I know everybody out here has been in that position in one way or another.
You're rocking, you're pushing, you're wiggling, you're yanking the wheel back and forth, reverse, forward, everything you can, try to get it unstuck, and sometimes it just won't go.
Well, and it looks like that was the case, unfortunately, for Jay. He got a little hand there from Cody Kaysen getting that off the course. Oh, look, there's Taylor. He left the trailer.
Yes, apparently he left the trailer. Yeah. Hey, buddy, how's it going? Taylor's normally in our trailer doing graphics and
doing a lot of stuff,
running our cameras.
Shout out to Taylor. Yes. He's not actually in here to hear it right now.
Yes, he does. He does a lot for us. He takes good care of us.
He's a busy man when he's in the production.
He has about 6 different jobs he does, all simultaneously. So.
All right, everybody. I want to know, where is everyone watching from today? We've got Brett Moore checking in from Australia. I see a couple other people that are checking in. Make sure y'all are on that Rock Racing TV Facebook page so that we can see your comments and interact with you. And I want to know where you're watching from on this Friday.
I wonder what time it is in Australia.
What time is it right now for you, Brett? It is 12:40 Eastern time here in West Virginia.
11 something Central Standard Time.
Yes, well, 11:40.
That's the best time zone.
We like Central Time.
Yeah.
Justin Hoback in Big Bertha.
Yes, this big 4-seater has made statements for several seasons now. Again, having a longer chassis may help him here. It may hurt him. We're going to see what his game plan is. They have a very, very wide area. You can see right there, that's kind of where Jay got hung up on the V notch right there at the bottom of the screen. You can see there's a big, you're 80 feet wide. You have a lot of options to choose from depending on belly height, depending on wheelbase, depending on tire size. Those will all help dictate what your line choice is going to be. And then obviously strategy starts to come into play here. That's a big option.
Well, he was definitely paying attention to Jay's line and was able to pick one that got him up and over that notch. I have a special place in my heart for 4-seat racers, Matt.
Yeah, I do.
And I have found myself, I'm so used to driving the 4-seater that I just when I have to make a turn around something, I leave
swing
room,
wide.
No matter if I'm in a 2-seater or not. Then I'm leaving room back there for the bus. You
yeah,
know?
I have seen you send it several times in a 4-seater.
It's fun. You got to run what you got sometimes.
Yeah. I was always comical. Be like, yeah, we got the Rancher 5000 out here. Got bales of hay in the back. Got to haul some feed for the horses.
Hauling hay or hauling itself
yes.
across the race course. Keep that G for.
I was kind of giggling. Yes, I appreciate that. Oh, good times.
And it looks like Big Bertha has made it through the worst part of the course and is heading out now into our open section, hitting those RCV ramps.
Heck yeah. We got a little bit of a high-speed area here with
Here we go. Here's
pretty
that
good
ramp.
jump.
Oh, I didn't even see this earlier.
Oh, yeah. This is if you're sending it, you can absolutely launch off that thing.
Oh, I bet we're going to see that from somebody.
I think we will. Again, especially with the Pro Class. Looks like he's in two-wheel drive, maybe.
It kind of did, but I don't know why he would have been.
Maybe the only thing I can think of is he put it in two-wheel drive for the high-speed section, maybe? That or it bumped out.
Well, you can see it's definitely muddy out here, so that's a nice
yes.
curve you can swing around today. Spin those tires.
Sean Keller, what's up? Tuning in from Oregon. What's up, Charles? Giving a shout-out to Charles Chris. He also races our VIN class and absolutely sends it in his red Cherokee. Brett said it's currently 2:40 early Saturday morning here.
Well, thanks for hanging with us, Brett. That's some commitment right there.
That is a dedicated fan. Say, I'll wait till 3 a.m. to check out. Heck yeah, that is awesome.
Oh, man. Bertha made it so far.
Come on, back up and hit it like you owe some money.
He is definitely not in four-wheel drive.
Back up and hit it like you insulted your mama's cookie.
That's our first axle.
Is this our first broken axle of the day? I
I
can't
don't
tell. Is it just?
It may be a diff, could be a
He's
drive
definitely
shaft.
getting right up in that boulder in front of him.
Yeah, and he has no front tire string, it looks like. So I'm not 100% sure. Again, it could be a diff, could be a front drive shaft, could be a handful of things that are broken there. Obviously, he is going to try, kind of like Jay did. You know, if you can kind of back up, bump it a little bit harder, or
Hey, they came here to race.
swing it to the front end over a little bit more one way or the other.
Let's see. We've got Kinley Havens watching from Kentucky, headed that way to run youth class tomorrow. Awesome. North Carolina, Oregon. Do we have anyone checking in from Middle Tennessee right now? Any representatives?
I know that the shortest drive for racers, I think, was the Wills. They're only about 3.5 hours from here in North Carolina.
For the first time ever.
Yes. They were like, this is our hometown.
This is a race that's
yes.
near them.
They said, this is like our hometown park. When we come to do crawling for a weekend, we'll come here and hang out. So they said,
nice.
we've been here before. This is like our one close event, you know.
They probably didn't even know what to do with themselves. They didn't have to spend 24 hours in the truck.
It was so funny. They're like, we're getting there a day early just to hang out and grill and goof off just because we're like,
yeah.
you know, we get a vacation day this time.
So much extra time.
So that's, again, you can see a bunch of the drivers hop there.
Justin's out.
Cody and Clay casing up there, see if they can point something out, see if they're
assessing.
Figure out what he broke exactly.
Watching from Parum.
Again, our sponsor for this weekend is Branik Motorsports. We'd like to thank them. Again, Stan and Brandon take a great care of a lot of Ultra 4 guys as well as the Southern Rock Racing Series. I know they've made parts for me before. I know they've done stuff for Timmy and a half dozen other guys. So they make some awesome parts. Their aluminum trailing arm we talked a little bit about during the pre-show. Timmy kind of made it famous, and this year at Hammers I probably saw 20 or 30 guys with these big aluminum trailing arms. So it's kind of neat to see, again, Stan made one for his car years ago and kind of tweaked a little bit. Then once Timmy had one, now we've seen a lot of guys. We've stolen stuff for Ultra 4 guys for quite a while. It's kind of neat to see them start to steal from us now.
Yeah,
you know?
Hey, everyone's just paying attention.
So
when something works, it works.
It is, and it was kind of neat to see the rock bouncing community kind of start to influence Ultra 4, and again, that was super neat to see. So
we've got Gabe checking in from Lawrenceburg, Tennessee. All right, here we go.
All right. Well, why they get that recovered, we will be back right after these messages.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerfly XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
And we're back. Okay, what is up, everybody? Again, we are here in West Virginia, Canver, West Virginia. Beautiful terrain. Again, the drive coming in.
What city are we in?
Canvas.
Oh, there you go.
West Virginia. Yeah, I had to look it up on the map before I did the pre-show. I actually went to their website because sometimes what our sheets say and what like the flyer says and what the website says are all different towns because it's right in the corner of three or four different or there's one's the county, one's the town, and one's like a little or a city, and then one's a small town next to it. So, or a township, if you will.
We are in Canvas.
Yes, Canvas, West Virginia. Again, pretty cool.
And we are currently still in our Rock Life Off-Road UTV stock class. If you guys are just joining us, welcome to the show, Hillside Live. We are just on our third driver right now for the stock class. So far, we have unfortunately had 2 DNFs. This is Tyler McGreeny now, ready to give it his best shot. We got Tim Cameron checking in from Columbia, Tennessee.
I just saw that. I was like, speaking of hardcore racers, what's up, Timmy? I seen he's doing some circle track stuff here. He was this morning or last night was doing some fabrication, had the short course or the circle track stuff on the TV in the shop, hanging out.
Yeah, Timmy, do you miss us all yet?
I know.
We miss having you around.
We
hope
do.
You're having fun, changing it up a little bit with your race agenda. Tyler McGreeny changing things up a little right now with this line. Heading up over this boulder.
Again, this is a very rocky terrain, so it'll be very interesting to see how that comes into play with obviously a much longer wheelbase. This is our second 4-seater we've seen.
Oh,
there we go.
Okay.
Crowd cheering for him, giving a little payoff there.
That works.
Marky Bell said, watch it from the interstate, headed your way.
All right. That's what we like to hear. If you guys are anywhere in the Canvas, West Virginia area, come on out. We've got a full day of racing ahead of us still. And then, of course, we'll be back tomorrow with 3 more classes of racing, including the Rock Bouncers.
Again,
you want to see it.
That's the awesome part about Bluetooth. You just hook your phone to the Bluetooth, set the phone up in the cup holder, have the race going on, have great surround sound. It's I'm not saying I've ever done it. I'm just saying that would be a great idea for someone.
It's just like an option if somebody wanted to.
If you wanted to.
Yeah.
Again, you're going to see how rough that downhill section is there by how big some of those boulders are compared to the wheels on that side-by-side.
Tyler McGreeny has watched 2 people DNF in front of him so far, and he knows he's got 7 minutes.
He's taking his time.
Course, and he wants to keep all his axles
intact.
Yes.
Again, because they have to do this here in a little bit this afternoon again. So we are going to shut down after we get all of the classes ran on the first course. We'll shut down, do a quick intermission, and then fire back up. Mainly that's the time for Yellow Racers to fuel up, gas up, repair any breakages, hopefully, and get back to run the second course for the afternoon. What's up, Adam Kuntz? Adam Kuntz said, that's exactly what I'm doing right now. He said, got the radio on, the phone on the dash.
There you go.
I'm not saying it's not an awesome idea, but, it's pretty cool.
All right, Tyler got himself out of that tough spot.
Again, it's actually really great visibility under that. You can see all the trees there give a nice cloud cover. So it's actually very bright under there, but yet the sun's not in your eyes, not until you break out into that open kind of high-speed section they set up there. And I talked to Clyde a little bit about this. We have a very rough rock section. Then they go and hit this high-speed section. Then they have to slow back down, slow the adrenaline back down, calm back down, and then go through another rock section. So I think we'll see some guys today that might have a little trouble with that.
It's just toying with the emotions out here.
It is. Again, looks like
he's free.
I think he switched it from low to high. It looked like he was shifting gears there for a second. I think he stopped, switched it from low to high. Oh, is he going to?
Up and over that RCB ramp.
Yeah, you could tell there, Justin, when he hit that corner, just something wasn't quite right. So I don't know if he broke it initially or... Again, hopefully get that fixed. Coming through, splashing through that muddy puddle there.
That part of the course looks real fun.
It looks like a lot of fun. Now they got to come back in, go through another gauntlet of rocks up and down. So, again, it looks like he stopped there, clicked into low.
Are we going to have our first time of the day?
Timmy just jumped in. He said, I already built a 2-seater Razor, which we had seen him playing on his social media without having doing some fun rides. And now he's building a 2-seat bouncer. He said, I'll come hit a few races and hang out next year and say hi to everyone. I'm probably slow now, but it'll be fun.
Well, I doubt that. I knew you wouldn't be able to stay away from us for long, though, Timmy.
I feel like that's some sandbagging talk there. You know? Who's that hiding behind the tree?
That's Zach.
Oh, that's Zach, our announcer. He's trying to stay safe behind those trees. Oh, he's trying to hide from the camera. I see. That's too funny.
Man, Tyler Magarini.
Again, making good time.
I think he's going to make it.
Again, just trying to keep that buggy moving, keep that momentum going. Again, you can see some recovery crew down there in the bottom in case he does get hung up. But, again, if you could keep that buggy just kind of bouncing through that rock.
Man, I'm interested to see what the Bounty class course is going to be like tomorrow.
It's going to be gnarly. I was talking to Justin about a month ago trying to get like some good intel because this is like his hometown park. And he's like, I don't know where the course is going to be at, but he's like, they have some big rocks. I was like, how big? He's like, Volkswagen Beetle size. I was like, okay, that's pretty big.
Yep.
He said, yeah. He said, I think you'll see a lot of broken axles, broken drive shafts, you know, on the big bouncers.
Is he coming back through? They have to come back through the same?
That first section, yeah.
Okay. Clearly, I did not study the map.
I looked at it this morning,
course.
but I was down there for that
I
driver's
just wanted
meeting.
to figure it out along with all of our people watching online. Come on, I see that checkered flag. Nice.
There we go. And
We
again,
have a time.
that is from a 4-seater.
A 339.221.
And now you can see why we have that 7-minute time limit.
All right. 339.221. We've got Braden Upchurch on the line now. We still have Braden, and then we've got Brady McCree, Daniel Heckley, Dan Carter, and Brandon Davis. This is our Rock Life Off-Road UTV stock class.
There's your leaderboard. Again, we got Jay Stort so far that was a DNF. We have Justin Holback.
We also had Justin Hoback on there.
That's not on there. That also was a DNF.
Justin was a DNF.
Then Tyler came with a 339.
All right, here we go. Braden Upchurch. Sounds like a country singer's name if
It
I
does.
ever heard one.
It absolutely does.
Part of that Rock Life team competing in the Rock Life stock class. Man, he made that little section
He did.
look easy.
He was flying through there. He must have been clearly paying attention to everybody else.
That was like speed crawling.
Yeah, it was.
Slow is smooth and smooth is fast.
Yes.
Is it one of those
Yeah.
situations?
Hey, did y'all not park right there? That camera shoots that valley when they run through it, and y'all are right in their way. I don't care if you park not there.
How many of you guys watching online have ever been here to the Good Evening Ranch in West Virginia?
Again, my brother, when I said we were coming to West Virginia, he said, good evening, Ranch. I said, you guys, man, I've been wanting to go there. He does a ton of recreational wheeling out there having fun and has a Toyota and a Jeep that he absolutely sends it.
Man, looking good for Braden Upchurch right now. Yeah, I have a friend that is into Jeeps and everything, and he stops by Murfreesboro on his way through other places sometimes and was telling me about Good Evening Ranch and had I ever been there. And I was like, no, but actually I'm going to be there next month. And he showed me videos where they did barrel racing with the Jeeps and UTVs, like whatever.
Yes.
In the indoor or the
arena.
The covered arena
Yeah.
where they normally do the horses barrel racing. So I was like, well, that's something different.
Yeah. And that's another thing to talk about. We had, again, looking at some of the fun things to do here. They do a ton of horse-related activities, such as barrel racing, showing. They have a big covered arena. They also have a giant meeting hall where you could have a banquet or a wedding, or they also have a restaurant part of the time, which I guess will be open this weekend. They also have a pool here, but it's not open currently.
I saw that.
But they do have a pool, in-ground pool here as well. So
I like that this this is one of the only off-road parks I've ever been to that caters to both ends of the horsepower spectrum.
Yes.
Whichever you might enjoy to come out. They literally have all the equestrian, they have barrel racing options and different of their own horse racing series and things out here. And then, of course, all the off-road options and the trails for riding, plus the racing events. So, yeah, that's pretty fun.
I told when we were doing our pre-show, I said, Bree will know all the deets about all the horse-related activities going on there.
I want to go pet this buckskin that they've got out there. It's pretty fun.
And they have several bigger pastures with all the horses in it. Wow, 161.365 for Braden Upchurch.
New leader.
That is our new leader in a smoking time, but again, still taking his time to get through there and make sure he didn't make any silly mistakes. No broken parts.
Smooth as fast.
Yeah, and
go.
Again, I think this first half of this section of the course is going to have to be that way. Going through, full tilt, I don't think it's going to be the plan.
Daniel Heckley, that just reminded me that Brady McCreath is not actually here when I was reading off my list earlier. So we've got Daniel Heckley.
Again, we have a handful of our stock class drivers that also race big bouncers. They started out racing bouncers, now they race stock class because they're like, hey, we're here. We have a stock by side. We should do that. It's fun. It get you a little more seat time, help you kind of be a little more comfortable with the terrain usually. Again, this is pretty violent terrain, so I don't see anyone getting quote-unquote comfortable with it, but definitely being able to put some good time in there. Again, you see that drone there getting some great coverage flying around.
I raced the Avenger for the first time in a long time in May at AOP.
Yeah.
Adventure Off-Road Park, for those that haven't been there. And it's very rocky.
Yes.
Like this. I'm having some flashbacks right now of you just crashing your way through, trying to pick the best line, but it doesn't matter once you're down in there. But it was fun. It was very fun. I was glad to get back in the driver's seat.
Felt good, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And people don't understand, once you're in that moment and you're halfway through the course and your plan quickly goes out the window.
And it looks totally different when you watch the video or something, but when you're in there, it feels violent.
Oh, it is. Yeah, right there. You can see it. Speaking of bouncing back and forth, Bree, you can see right there how kind of violent he's getting thrown from left to right.
Watch his head. This is why we wear Hans devices to protect our necks. We wear full face helmets, fire suits, wrist restraints, the whole 9 yards, because even though what you see on video might look one way, it feels different to your body when you're going through it. So definitely safety first.
Oh,
and we have a lot of requirements in place for that reason.
It looks like everybody so far is checked up right after that jump. And then you can see him drifting around that corner. So
oh, yeah.
I have no doubt it's a lot of fun, Taylor. Again, the entire high-speed section, I think, would be a blast.
We need to commandeer Clyde's Can-Am later.
Yeah. Go out there and rip it around a little bit.
I'm sure he wouldn't notice, right?
He wouldn't. I'll be like, look, speed off. What's that over there?
All right, now this, entrance back into the rock section seems to be giving everybody a little trouble here. It's kind of hard to tell from down here and through the trees and everything.
Angie and Bobby Upchurch both cheering on Braden.
Yep, he did a great job.
Again,
come on, Daniel.
Daniel trying to get those tires up, kind of bump it over. Man, you can see that just, thrashing side to side.
Taylor, you weren't kidding about the flies.
Taylor's like, I have a fan up here. Oh, wait, it's pointed at me.
Pointed
That's
at
right.
the wall.
Taylor's like, it's...
Oh, okay.
He's like, it's so comfy over here, guys. You should really feel it. Woo!
Hey, you know what else? We forgot to turn the lights on.
I look pretty great. It's okay, Taylor.
Are you saying that you look better in dim lighting?
Wow. Wow.
Everybody looks better in dim lighting.
Wow. Bree's throwing shade this morning.
I'm just clarifying. 224 1:116 for Daniel Heckley. So right now we've got Braden Upchurch in the lead with a 161, followed by Daniel with a 224, and then Tyler McGreeny with a 339. We still have Dan Carter and Brandon Davis to run in the Rock Life Off-Road UTV stock class. And then we will move on to the RSV Axle Unlimited class.
Yeah, and again, Daniel still looked very quick, setting that 224 time. We got Dan Carter sitting here. He's part of that Rock Life Off-Road crew. He is clearly going to try to smoke some of those times. But again, Dan also knows, he understands, slow is fast. You got to keep getting through there, making your time.
Slow is smooth. Smooth is fast. You got to have that,
I just
step
shortened
in
it.
between there.
I just shortened it. Slow is fast. It is. And this sport, honestly, as long as you're continuing, your wheels could be spinning 10,000 miles an hour, but as long as your vehicle is continually getting forward momentum or forward traction, you're doing okay. Again, looks like he's trying kind of the same area, kind of doing the same plan that Jay Stortz was trying in the beginning. Trying to get a little higher on that rock. Again, a smaller wheelbase definitely plays in there too, again, depending on what tire size he's running. So in the back of his mind, he's probably thinking, I just don't want to end up wedged down there kind of like Jay. So
Dan Carter is also either one of our only or maybe our only UTV driver that races in 3 different classes.
Yes.
He races the stock class, the cup class, and bounty.
And I've even seen him do it with 3 different vehicles.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, I tease him all the time. I'm like, man, you just can't hide money,
He's also raced in the VIN class in the past. So I guess next we just need to get him in a bouncer. I already told him he should name it Danger Zone.
Danger Zone. I love it. Look at that. Bumping right through that violent section, making quick work of that. Yeah, that back tire does look a little bit bent. I'm not sure.
Yes, it does.
Again, as long as it stays on the vehicle.
It's under the name card. Oh, yeah, that's not right.
You can see it bent, but as long as it can hold together.
Do you think it will stay on there?
The problem, and is it getting traction still? That's the next question. Is it still getting traction?
Does Dan care? That's also another question.
Yeah. They're telling him probably, they're like, hey, by the way, you got a wheel barely hanging on. Be careful.
By the way, it's looking at the sky right now.
It's going to help you turn right, Zach.
It's just got that drift camber
It
now.
does. It does,
That's
trying to say, look, they definitely told him because he would have been, ripping this right through here. So, again, trying to keep the buggy together is kind of the name of the game, especially on a race course like this.
I hope he brought something else for Bounty and
Cup,
Shirley.
Cup and Bounty he usually runs with a little bit different side by side. This is more of a full body type. Again, you can see the back's been quite chopped, but yeah. I've seen some vehicles like this before. Got that heavy lean on there. Yeah. You know what? But again, if you still get traction,
you have to rotate your tires like every day.
you would have to. Yes, you would have to rotate your tires every day, like flop in and out. Yeah.
All right, now can he make it back through?
Again, just trying to limp it through. Maybe. Oh, there he goes. And that right there, he just jumped up, is about a 5 foot straight up and down the ledge. A lot of drivers talking about, they said, well, is it going to be mandatory? And Clyde said no. And they said, can you make it a bonus line? And Clyde said no, because if you make it a bonus line, then that means everybody's going to take it because it's a lot faster route. So
I guess they just made it part of the course.
Yeah, so he said it's an optional line you can take, but that's up to you. Because not all the drivers really wanted to take it. So, because it was a little bit more violent.
Yeah, you could see that Justin Hoback was not headed up that rock.
Yeah, same for, I think it was Braden Upchurch. He kind of backed up and bumped it really, really good.
Braden hopped up over it, yeah. Man, it looks like Dan's going to make it.
Yeah. Go. Oh! Yeah, I think he's out. There we go.
Wheels hanging on there.
Not going to be the best time ever, but again, still getting a finishing time. Wow.
243.165. That is third place right now. So we've still got Braden Upchurch in the lead with a 161, and then Daniel Heckley with a 224, Dan Carter now with a 243, and then Tyler McGreeny with a 339. And we've got Brandon Davis ready to wrap things up for course 1 here in the Rock Life Off-Road Stock Class. We've got Ashley Callahan and Cameron Zollers checking in online. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining us here on Hillside Live. Friendly reminder, make sure you're watching from that Rock Racing TV Facebook page, not the SRS page or any of the others that you might find it on, if you want us to be able to see your comments, answer your questions. I noticed that. The Facebook pages have also been consolidated into the National Rock Racing Series Facebook page. We don't have Southern, Northern, Central, all the separate ones anymore. We consolidated all of it into the National Rock Racing Series. So you guys can always head over there to check out content and other fun things. But if you want to watch live and have Matt and I be able to see what you're saying, make sure you go to that Rock Racing TV Facebook
Again,
page.
Brandon Davis is absolutely flying.
Brandon is about to throw down a first place time right now. If he can just make it back through.
Flying through there right now.
His time to beat is a 161, and I don't think he's going to have any trouble with
No.
that.
Again, as long as we keep that momentum going, we'll see what he does on that hill, but he is absolutely flying through that rock section.
Do we have any real quick guesses on what Brandon's time might be?
Again, 161 was Braden Upchurch sitting in first with our fastest time, so I think Brandon's going to beat him if he can hang on to this momentum. Going. Again, you're right there behind him. You can see that big rock face where a lot of the drives have been shooting up that.
I'm going to go with like a 140 something.
Yeah?
He's probably even faster than that.
I'm going to say 120.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
If he can keep the momentum.
120, 130.
He absolutely just unleashed through that first section, that rock section, where everybody else had been hung up quite a bit. So
he's like, I'm not going to get stuck in here. What do you guys think? Do we have any guesses? What's Brandon's time going to be? See, he's close.
Again, trying to take that high side up as far as he can and then dip back down.
Woo, that's a rough finish there.
It is.
136.715.
That is your new fastest time. Again, almost at that 140 mark Bree was talking about.
So that concludes course 1 for our Rock Life Off-Road Stock Class. Brandon Davis was in the lead with a 136, and then Braden Upchurch with a 161. Then Daniel Heckley with a 224, Dan Carter with a 243, and Tyler McGreeny with a 339, and then Jay Stortz and Justin Hoback were DNFs.
Again, Brandon going last, obviously setting the fastest time. I think you're going to see the times increase tomorrow in the bouncers as well. Again, as long as we have nice dry skies tonight, I think tomorrow you're going to see the same thing. Guys kind of pick up time as it goes throughout the course. Obviously, with the big bouncers, that much horsepower, that big of a rock, you can shift rocks side to side, so the course could change going through. Again, that wraps up our UTV stock class. This will be our UTV Cup Series. Again, they still are UTVs, but they look much different. So,
Production is ready.
Nathan King, again, coming to the line there.
Copy Nathan King on the line. Clock is hot.
Nathan King must have been number 13
Yes.
in our lineup.
I believe he was.
For those of you that aren't familiar with, one of our rules is that whoever draws number 13 has the option to either stay in that 13th place or go first or go last.
Last, yes. I probably would have chose to go last on at least this course.
Well, you know, Madison, who is Nathan's sister, is actually the one that volunteered him for first place.
Really?
During the drivers' meeting.
Okay. Okay.
Nathan wasn't there at the time, and Madison was like, yeah, he's going first. Put
Okay.
him first.
Okay.
I don't know if Nathan already agreed to that or not.
Yeah, I probably would have went last just because, again, I like going and seeing what everybody else does. You can watch their strategies. Are they going far right? Are they going far left? How are they hugging the rock section?
Sometimes going first definitely has advantages, especially if there's a lot of mud or loose dirt, and the course is going to change. But yeah, it definitely is hard being the first one and not having that advantage of watching someone else go. Kind of like we saw Jay. He was the first one out there, and I'm sure he had a plan of how that was going to go, and it didn't work out. But that's how it is. Somebody has to go first.
In 2016 and 2017, we had a course where it got really washed out, really muddy, by the fourth driver, and then all the rest of us was DNF. So, and then this same thing happened at Windrock or Dyersburg a few years ago, where the last 4 drivers were DNFs just because that big dirt hill that we kind of launch up was so rutted out you couldn't.
Or it gets a lot faster as you go because the top layer of whatever slimy stuff or however the terrain is, got chewed off, and then it's that much faster.
So speaking of Timmy Cameron, he used to say notoriously, I'll let them go and knock the dust off, is what he would say. Again, usually a lot of times wood courses get faster just because all those rough edges kind of get rounded off, all the rough lips kind of get smoothed out, and you can kind of really rip through there after you get a nice good trail worn there.
Well, Nathan's definitely laying down a nice smooth run right now. I'm trying to see what are they doing differently here than we did in the stock class. Obviously, this section he's up in right now,
a little higher,
is different. Is that all? Is that the only difference? It's so hard to tell through all the trees.
Yeah, I think so. I think that second section they have to hit that ledge and go around. I believe is the only difference. But it's such a rough section to go through. But twice.
Oh no, he's turtled. Turtle on a fence post.
I feel horrible for anybody who gets high center like that, just because I did it my bouncer on a set of tires last year at Texas, and I was not real happy.
Oh yeah, like I said earlier, we've all been there in one way or another.
When you said you did it at tires at a show, I thought I've been there on tires.
Yep. Oh no! Come on, look, you can see.
He's like wiggly.
He's trying to shake it back and forth.
And you can see how much it's rocking.
Oh, I didn't think he was actually going to get him this hung up. Come on, Nathan.
Oh.
No.
And he's literally like 15 feet from the finish line.
No.
Had a great time going 15 feet from the finish line.
Nathan's not like a big husky guy either.
He's not,
He might not be able to get it moving enough. Oh, no. Oh.
Zach said,
turn those wheels.
Just shake it off like Taylor Swift.
Oh, gosh. Man, he made it through all the hardest stuff. Come on.
That 01 orange wrap, the Dukes of Hazzard theme song. You hate to see it. Hate to see him get hung up right there after having such a great time.
He could get out and push it, but at that point, his time's going to...
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter except for getting the points.
Yes, getting the points. Yes.
Because
and that seems kind of crazy sometimes. It's like, oh, they're going to push through it because of it. But then you see a half dozen guys break, one thing or the other, and then your bad time magically turns into a good time. So, man, he's trying so. You can hear him just ripping it from the trailer here. I hate to just.
Ooh, he's pulling a Batman move. He's gonna disappear.
Yeah.
Smoke. Except no, there he still is. Oh no.
You can see it rocking side to side pretty violently. He's just
Oh,
come on!
Come on!
There we go!
All right. Woo!
Again, as long as you get that thing unstuck, we do not care how it happens. There we go.
Oh man, he's got to be ticked about that.
Oh yeah.
He had a good run going, but hey, he finished. That's important. Can't hear that, Taylor.
3:03.240 for Nathan King. Again, that's our very first driver of the Cup Series class. Again, we just wrapped up the stock VIN class, or the stock UTV class. Now this is our UTV Cup Series. These are a little more radical machines. again, they can still get hung up just like the stock class. Again, you can see all the fans sitting there back in the background with the easy ups. A lot of families over there with their coolers set up, hanging out and having a good time.
Hey, and we are enjoying some beautiful weather out here today. The temperatures are amazing. There's a nice breeze. It's sunny right now.
We cannot complain at all. We're in the shade with a beautiful breeze.
I mean, you think going to a race in July and you're like, oh, great, we're all going to be sweating and miserable, but no, today is awesome.
Yeah, we were baking back home, so.
Yeah, Tennessee needs to chill out. It's been ridiculous.
Yeah.
Lately.
Really humid?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the worst. When it's like 92, 93 plus like 90% humidity.
Take a bite of the air when you go outside.
Yeah. It takes your breath away. You're like, oh.
Yeah. All right, we've got Cody Kaysen on the line now. And then right after Cody, we should have Clay Kaysen. Somehow they got lined up together. We had Nathan and Madison right next to each other, too, except for his number 13 deal.
Just blame the guy drawing the numbers.
That guy.
That guy, I tell you. Again, Cody has raced a stock class with us last year and then upgraded to the big chassis this year. Oh!
Oh, it was like a perfect skate.
Again, that stinks. That absolutely stinks. Man, you hate to see that.
What do you guys think? Is that a skinny pedal nomination?
Is he going to try to flip it back over?
Oh, and it's uphill. Can he do this?
Oh, I don't know. His brother Clay is right next to him. I think he's.
Come on, Cody.
Dude,
Don't hurt your back though.
Trying to flip a side by side up a hill.
Uphill.
Again, there's a great shot of the course. Again, this was the VIN class. Again, you can see they start out through that rock section, make that long, fast-paced loop, and then back in there. And again, that tree cover is really nice for racing in the shade almost.
I want to see what's happening with Cody. Here we go. He's giving it everything he's got right now.
He's trying.
Come on, Cody.
So close. Cooper Bentley there, his good friend, is just cheering him on. Like, you can do it. Again, you can see Jay Stort's right at the edge of the screen. His brother there.
If he was in any other area, I believe he could flip it over by himself. But
dude,
going up the hill like that, and I think he's up against the rock.
Yeah.
Too.
How rough is that for Clay to sit there and watch your brother struggle,
know.
knowing if
he's like, all right, I can't do it.
Knowing if you jump in and help him, it disqualifies. But
heck of a try though.
Yeah, he had it off the ground. He just couldn't get it flipped the rest of that way. Yeah. And again, now you see it takes 6 guys to do it. He was actually getting it off the ground, but man.
Yeah, this is a really tough spot. If he'd been out in the field, he could have done it.
Yeah, I absolutely believe he would have. When I was young at 18, I could probably do that as well. Not so much now. Not so much now.
To be 18. I don't want to be 18 again.
Yeah.
I'll be happy with like 28.
Yeah. I was thinking like 23. 23, yeah, Well, at least 25. Then you rent a car.
25. Yeah, there you go. You can.
Yeah, Taylor. He's
Taylor.
Like. Yeah. Bless his little heart.
Just like prior to 30.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I mean, when you're early 20s, you're kind of poor, but you still live life on the edge, have fun, be wild and crazy. It's okay. Man, that stinks. You hate to see him get, had a good run going there. We knew he was going to get out there and hammer down on it. I think he's one of the ones that would hit that jump as well. Absolutely just send it over our high-speed jump out there.
I'm going to see what DC does out there.
We all know what DC's going to do. He's going to send it.
Sometimes,
I was just going to say,
in the past, year, I guess, we're all like, oh, yeah, DC's going to send it. And then he totally just, regulates all of the craziness.
And still it does well. He's ended up on the podium a couple times.
DC can drive.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Backs off to 95% instead of 110.
He tones down the crazy a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, so actually, I don't know what he's going to do these days.
Yeah, we have seen him be a little more timid this year, and it's worked out very, very well. going 95%
I
instead
wouldn't
of
even say timid. It's just like a little more controlled.
Yeah, well, as I said, he's given 95% instead of like 115. Yeah, a little less controlled chaos for him, and did very well. Like I said, he's been on the podium a couple times. Has that new chassis? He did well with the new chassis last year.
What's the deal with him and a bouncer?
I heard he had the bouncer. He's waiting on the motor.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Got the motor back. Okay.
I guess we need to just ask DC what's going on here.
I'll go pick his brain later.
Yeah.
Say, hey, what's up with this bouncer?
We need an update.
I also heard that I was hearing rumors of another UTV driver that might eventually be in a
rumors.
I heard.
Snap.
See, I get to hear all the juicy gossip. The problem is, it's hard to verify some of this stuff. So,
as rumors go.
Again, while he's clearing out, we'll check out that course. Again, this is UTV Cup Series 1 and 2. One in first course, second course. You can see the little divider there where 1 and 2 are separate. Again, beautiful shot from overhead. You can see how most of the rock section is in that great tree cover, so it gives you tons of light, but yet the sun isn't blinding you, which is really handy if you're racing, early in the morning or later at night. It's kind of nice. Again, the finish line and the starting line right at the same spot. And again, that rough rock section is pretty gnarly. So
we've got Austin Connell and Dylan Dowler checking in now. Are y'all hanging out together?
I could see that. Again, that's the UTV stock class there. Course 1 and 2. A little bit easier. A couple of the
I wouldn't say too much.
Couple of the chutes are a little bit different, but other than that, it's pretty much the same course. Yeah, that's VIN class. Well, initially, I was talking to Clyde.
Hey, I think that's fair. That's enough for them.
I was talking to Clyde, and initially he had them running the same class as maybe like the stock class.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, same course as the stock class, and it took him like 30 minutes in the Jeep, he said. So he's like, well, I don't want each one of our VIN class vehicles to take 30 minutes. So he said, we're going to make it a little easier for him.
That's a little rough for, a Jeep. Or
yeah. A F-250, Cherokee, or an F-250, Samurai. We've seen all kinds of things in our VIN class, so.
Austin, yes, you both should be here.
02 Grand Cherokee, 5 out of 6 cylinders still in the block. We've seen all kinds of crazy stuff. Yeah, if you got 5 cylinders, that's good, right? I mean, it's an inline. It's not going to cause that much vibration.
Looks like they got Cody turned back over and making his way off the course. This is the second time today he's had to drive a UTV. He drove Jay's off the hill for him, too. So.
He's like, I'll get it, bud.
Oh. That's a bummer. Are they racing Downey? Let me see. Nope. What's up, Wade Good?
What's
Somebody
up,
else
buddy?
that we're missing out here. Hope everyone at home is doing well, enjoying their summer. For those that we haven't seen since April, our last race. Hope you're getting some fun time at the lake or with your family.
Golfing.
Tell us,
doing all kinds of fun.
those of you watching online, what's some of the fun stuff you've been able to do this summer so far?
What's your
Fill
favorite
us in.
summertime activities?
Yeah, since you're not here racing with us, tell us what else you've been doing.
Okay, we got Cody casing out of the way. Now it's Clay casing up next.
Clay is sitting in the lead for points overall right now for the Cup class with 377 points.
Again, right there, taking that exact same line his brother did, but able to keep all 4 wheels on the ground. I don't know if that's a chassis design or he just went a little higher up on that rock face.
I think that he didn't slide quite as far down in there. Clay also was our winner for the Cup class at our last race at Hot Springs. Wade wants to know if anyone's racing for his points. Not that I know of.
Yeah, I was curious. Somebody after the pre-meeting, because I said, well, he's going to put a team together, and somebody called and said, hey, is he putting a team together? I was like, well, I know initially they were, but now that the bouncer has actually been sold, I don't know if they're still going to compete as a team.
Oh, you might want to call up some of the folks that are here.
Yeah.
Get someone lined up for tomorrow.
I was like, if you can find somebody that's just an awesome racer, you can still end up with some serious points at the end of the season.
I'm sure we have at least one awesome racer out here.
Well, that isn't already racing for their points. That's the key. Lots of guys are awesome racers and want points. It's just they want to keep them in their own category.
Fair enough.
Again, Clay is absolutely ripping through this section here. Okay, you see that mud just flying off his buggy as he's whipping through those hills. Yeah, speaking of DC.
DC's watching closely.
He was. He drove by.
Once you got that Hans on, though, you can only turn your
Yeah.
head so far. Boy, that's a lot of rocks up there. Things are looking good for Clay.
Super smooth. Coming down that big rock face again. Man, that's going to be a good time.
Whoa!
Bam.
Pinballing down the hill
That's
here.
bouncing through there.
That's all right, because he crossed the finish line. That's a 1:23.703 for Clay Kaysen.
Again, well, that's going to be a pretty quick time to beat, I think. So I think that's faster than all of our stock class as well.
Nathan had a 3:03, but that's really only because he got turtled on that rock for a while. He got hung up. Otherwise, I think he would have had a real fast time, too. We have 2 times and a DNF, Taylor.
And then we got Brandon Davis sitting in line there in that full-body Can-Am.
Brandon Davis already is holding the fastest time from the stock class, round 1.
Can he do it again?
Got that Can-Am lined up again. This thing gets a workout.
It does.
It's been getting one for a few seasons now.
Again, he sends it in it. He does a great job.
Matt, I'm almost like chilly right now.
Yeah,
I don't know what to do
you
with
don't
this
you don't
sensation.
dare say it, but
I
yes.
don't even know what to do with it.
Yes. Yes, you don't dare say
I
it.
happily accept it.
Because the second you say, "Oh man, I'm almost cold," then boom, it's gonna be like the sun comes out and just bakes us the whole rest of the weekend. Yeah, yeah.
This is wonderful.
I love it.
We needed a little break from our Tennessee heat wave.
Yeah, the athletic shorts are kind of aerated, I guess you could say.
There's like a this in there.
Oh, you have, I see, some like mini leggings there.
They're like
Some
built in.
jazzer-sized shorts there. I see it. It's okay. Bree wanted to get some exercise in this morning for our
I
broadcast.
had to get a few steps in and go pet the donkeys in the
Yeah,
hill. Check
they were
out
cute.
the campground area.
Over by like where the helipad is at, there's a pin where our horses are in.
Oh, yeah, I need to go explore a little more. So, if you have just joined us recently, we are here at Good Evening Ranch in Canvas, West Virginia. Our first time ever racing here for the series, so we're all excited to be here and get to explore some new area. And I mentioned earlier that I enjoyed the donkeys, horses, and goats that they have out here. They also do a lot of horse riding events at this park. So the whole spectrum of horsepower.
Yes, horsepower, yeah.
Whatever suits your fancy. And so it's been fun getting to look around. We went to the bridge. I don't know the name of it.
Okay.
That I'm gonna mess this up, but someone's gonna know what I'm talking about. It was like the biggest bridge for whatever type it was in the world.
Okay.
For like 26 years or something. Until
Okay.
China built something.
Okay.
So that was a local,
Okay.
thing.
That's kind of cool.
And it was very cool.
So we came across several bridges, running to get stuff this morning early, and
Taylor might know. Taylor.
it's beautiful terrain out here. Just driving through the mountains and hills and stuff. So
It is beautiful, beautiful weather. I hope that you guys, if you're somewhere in the area, would be able to come out and join the fun. If not today, then tomorrow we'll definitely have another full day of racing.
man, Brandon is flying through there. Again, if you can't hear that Can-Am just ripping, he is sending it right
Well, he's
now.
already done this course once too, so he knows the plan.
Oh, jumps it. There we
Nice.
go.
Oh yeah, this part looks like fun.
Goes a little bit farther on the curve than his previous attempts, but also jumped it over there. So, again, saving some time there. Again.
Shout out to Jack, our drone pilot, for getting the awesome footage and then these great shots for us to be able to experience being able to follow these guys around the course. We're so spoiled now.
We really are.
We're
It's
like-
almost like in cab.
When you don't have the drone footage anymore, it's like, I can't see anything.
Yeah.
I can't. They're in the tree. You know.
I've had people messaging me after we don't have a drone. They're like, "Hey, where's the drone at today?" I'm like, "Bro, like."
For years, we
Yes.
we had no drones.
Yeah, and like we had 2-3 cameras.
Yeah, we're definitely grateful for it.
So now we have like a half dozen cameras. We got a couple manned, couple unmanned. We got drone. So it's really cool to see the whole spectrum of everything.
Jacket clear, jacket clear.
We are definitely grateful for all the many people that help us make these events what they are and do what we do, from recovery to media to running a camera and drone. Our drivers coming out, everyone that helps on safety. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes to make one of these events happen, and we are definitely grateful to everyone that helps.
138.139 for Brandon Davis. That is
That's
not quite.
Time
Yeah,
right now.
I saw Clay Case this time again. Second place. Clay's still sitting in first. Brandon Davis sitting in second, and Nathan King sitting in third.
For putting a full body Can-Am through the same course as
to
the
be within
Cup class.
5 seconds, 5 second difference. Yeah, with a full body to an actual pro race car, that's pretty impressive.
This looks like DC Thompson on the line now. Hi. Oh, we don't have a chair out here tonight. That's right.
Again, you got to love DC's picture. Nothing says DC more than DC's picture. He's just a good old-fashioned wild man. Again, as we watch DC.
All right, so we've got Clay Kaysen up here in the trailer with us. Clay, this spot obviously it takes some finessing. We've seen success and some definite not success here. So what are your thoughts on this, where DC is right now? Oh,
well,
and he's just going to go ahead and turn around?
At least he ain't like Jay is in there. He ain't wasting
Yeah.
rods right now.
That was killing me watching Jay.
I was so upset. He gave it all he had, though. He gave every bit of it, left 110 out there.
Yeah, and your brother, you can see you in the background, and I'm like, man, that kind of kills you to see your brother there struggling, knowing you if you touch the vehicle, he's disqualified.
It was rough to watch for sure.
Yeah, watching him struggle like that and be 3 feet from him, and you can't touch it.
I know it. He has worked his butt off this year. He'll get it figured out.
It looks like DC is trying to do what you did and what Cody attempted and just kind of skate across. Is that like the only way?
Well, you can go around it, but I knew from the beginning that if it got mud or anything on it, it was going to be slick as it could be. But I had my mind made. Even watching Cody flip right in front of me on it, I just had my mind made, and I stuck with everything. I didn't change nothing. And I just got lucky. Lucky bounce, in all honesty.
DC's just doing some circles down.
Yeah, he's just having him a good old-fashioned trail ride session.
He can't get himself straightened out in the right direction here. Come on, DC.
And it's like ice down there.
There he goes.
When you get on out of there, it's not that bad because all the water and stuff hasn't made it all the way through there.
Oh, yeah, he's good and mad now, I'm sure.
Jack Porter says, tell Clay to fist bump Madison for me.
Can I? Tell me why, Jack.
Why, Jack?
Yeah, tell us why.
That is kind of random, Jack.
Yeah, that's a little random. I don't want to do that to Cooper's girlfriend.
All right, DC.
Finally got out of that.
Out into the open.
Yeah, he's definitely ripping through there now.
This section looks really fun.
Now that is like really fun.
Yeah.
Like that is like a lot of high speed. You can, and it's kind of wet, so you can just hold it on the floor and just let it slide.
It looks like a lot of fun.
But that right there is sketchy. Coming between those two rocks. It doesn't do it justice at video on home.
It never does. It never does.
I feel like you ain't got but 6 inches on both sides of your tires right through there.
And those are both pretty good sized rocks, too.
Yeah, I mean, you hit them, it's ripping the rear trailer arm off.
Yeah.
What happened? Did you look at Dan Carter's buggy at all?
I think he broke an upper radius rod.
Okay.
For him to finish that course, because it
broke.
broke.
We were like, how is it hanging on still?
Yeah. I was very impressed by that.
Was it you that ran over and told him about it?
No, I think Cooper or somebody else did. Which, no, Dan, he ain't going to stop.
No. I see him because I was like, man, I hope somebody tells him. And I seen them stop there for a minute, and then I saw him slowly head out over here to our open section. So I knew it was somebody had told him because he was going way too slow to be, ripping. Most guy, Dan would have out there ripping through it. So
I'm okay. I'll be okay.
Oh.
I just missed all my friends up here. I haven't seen y'all in forever.
What did he break?
I know, it feels like it's been forever.
All right, he just
man.
that's gonna be rough. He just ripped the trailing arm off the frame. They're saying.
Do we have the drone up? Oh.
And to make it that far,
we're having a battery change on the drone, and then we'll go check it out.
To make it that far, I mean, you're right there. I will cry for DC.
Oh, that is sad.
Hey.
That tree right there is pretty cool, though. Look at that.
Yeah, that tree is.
There's some beautiful terrain out here in West Virginia.
Clyde's walking over there now, like,
Clay,
oh man.
have you ever been out this way before?
Yeah.
We're getting a chair up here. Hold, please.
Actually, I have never been out here until this weekend.
Yeah.
I
think most of us haven't.
Yeah, I've never been to West Virginia.
A lot
period.
of us live for,
I don't know how far it was for y'all, but it was about 10 hours for us to get here.
Oh, that's. How'd you enjoy your short drive here?
Oh, yours was further?
Oh yeah, I was like 12, bro.
Oh, 2 hours. He has to.
I flew.
Yo,
Can I fly back with
yeah. She said.
But hey, it's not a round trip flight. I gotta drive. I'm riding home with the hoe bags.
She just goes, I flew.
Free. I will pay for the plane ticket.
I spent all day in the airports, though.
Yeah. Man, that's got to be the life. Fly in, do your broadcasting job.
It seems like it's going to be fun until you get in there and you're like
That's
rubbing
true.
shoulders with everybody. And you spend half the day in layovers. And
That's true. That's true.
How many layovers did you have?
Just one, but they were only like hour-long flights each. But then I had time spent at the airport.
Why don't you just put you one plane to here instead of?
I know.
All right, while we're traveling, it's a good time for y'all to go.
I
At
think
any
I wonder if
rate,
we could
we're
get
all here. We all got here.
I wish we could get as big where Clyde could just haul all of our stuff and we could just fly in behind it. You know how cool that would be?
Oh, dude.
That'd be the life. Like
that
NASCAR.
would be. Yeah. Just fly in with your little helmet bag, show up. Hey, how's it going?
How are y'all doing?
I just want to say I've been doing this for years, and this is the first time I have flown to any race.
Yeah.
So I've put in my time.
I get to fly to California, but that's just because it's such a
I did fly to
far
King
ride.
of the Hammers the first year that we went.
Yeah. See, look at that. She's like, well, I mean.
Hold on, let me back up here.
California.
Yeah.
And that was like 10 years ago.
All right.
Oh, you know what we could do? Taylor, do you have our interview with Gatlin lined up? All right. Well, we took a minute and caught up with Gatlin Wheels right after the drivers' meeting and let her tell us about her moving from the youth class into the VIN class for the season now, and this will be her very first race today. So we'll give Taylor just a minute to get that queued up, and then you guys can check it out.
What's up, everybody? I am here with Gatlin Wheels, of course, my co-host Matt, and we are at Good Evening Ranch in West Virginia, and we pulled Gatlin aside for a minute to talk a little bit about what's new with her. We just came back from our mid-season break, and Gatlin is switching up to a new class. She's been racing in the youth class with us for like a year and a half, and you are moving on to the VIN class. Today is going to be your first time racing. Tell us about that and whatever you want to share with everybody.
I mean, I'm really nervous because I've never. So the first time I drove the Jeep was Wednesday.
Oh,
off the trailer.
Today's Friday.
And I drove it all day yesterday, so Thursday. And I did the old VIN course that Clyde set in here.
Yeah.
And then
Just practice.
yeah, and then it got changed up. So I had to do all that today. So it's a little bit
Yeah. Is it a lot to remember? It's obviously going from the youth class to one of the other classes. The courses get a little longer and a little more complicated. Is that an issue for you?
not really. Like, so this one is like, I think it's like almost 25% rock and then 75% open field. So it's not too bad. So,
Yeah, Yeah, you guys can obviously see there's a lot of rock in this section, but like she said, there is also an open area out there that you'll hopefully get a little speed up.
Yeah.
I heard there's some little ramp areas. Yeah, I haven't really made it down that way yet, but well, cool. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're excited to watch you.
You got to practice a little bit yesterday. How did it feel yesterday, being here, being in the rocks? Your dad said you guys thrashed around quite a bit. How'd the buggy feel, and how'd the Jeep feel, and what was your feeling compared to the smaller side-by-side?
So the 170, it's kind of, the suspension's like really hard on it, and so whenever I got into the Jeep, it was smoother than I honestly expected.
Okay.
But I really didn't feel many of the rocks.
Okay.
So it felt pretty good.
I said you're navigating the terrain pretty well this morning coming out here. We saw you guys have a little fun.
Now, you just turned 13? Soon. About to be 13. So you're obviously not spending a lot of time. You haven't driven out on the road. You're not close to getting your license yet. So what does it feel like being in a Jeep or in a driving like around your house? How's that?
So I can only drive the 170 around my house because my mom gets mad if I care for the too much.
My mom would too.
Yes.
So she doesn't want me to drive the Jeep around because it rains a lot out here.
So this is your chance.
Yeah.
This is your big chance.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're excited for you. We're about to get things going here at Good Evening Ranch. We're about to kick off the whole weekend of racing. So you guys stay tuned.
We'll see you guys.
Rebirthed from the depths of Baja, Mickey Thompson Tires announces a new American mud terrain legend. The new Baja Legend MTZ. Silica reinforced T4 tread compound. Powerply 3-ply construction. Improved 4-pitch side biters. Proven MTZ tread styling for undisputed traction. 35 different sizes, and one is just waiting for your rig. The Baja Legend MTZ. What you want? No matter where your ride takes you. Whether it's a quick trip or a slow climb. When you choose RCV Performance Axles, you're guaranteed to finish every time.
The all-new designs from Treadwear Apparel in 2021. Visions are better at the top. More throttle than brake, more balls than brains. If you're gonna win, you're gonna need these. Life is better topless. The NRRA official flag shirts. Real trucks don't have spark plugs. No guts, no glory. Definitely no story. Your girlfriend likes it when I bounce her. Grab yourself some new merch today.
And we are back. Again, we are in West Virginia, Canvas, West Virginia. Got
sounded out there.
I did. I have to. Canvas, West Virginia. Got all kinds of activities going on. We're in the process of getting a recovery. He ripped the trailing arm, Clyde said, off of the buggy. So.
And he did it right behind the boulder where we couldn't see what was happening. How rude.
I think they were taking the excavator around.
It's already around there.
DC Thompson that we're talking about. He had a great run going.
Not far from the finish line.
Yeah, he was very close. So I'm sure that's pretty frustrating for him. But speaking of frustrating, your brother Cody, he didn't make it too far into the course before he turned over. Man, we were out there cheering him on. He was trying to lift it back over.
Y'all could probably hear me over here. I was screaming so loud.
And how hard is that? Again, we were talking a little bit in the booth about being frustrating. Sitting there watching your brother struggle 3 feet in front of you, knowing you cannot touch that vehicle.
It's honestly, I mean, it sucks because he's in a place for the points chase to step up and get in the chance for being on the podium in the points. I mean, every little bit counts. I mean, we're down to what after this one? 12 hills left. I'm pretty sure 5 races left.
4 times 8, and then 12 hills. Yep.
So, I mean, it's getting down to the nitty-gritty.
It really is. I mean, we're halfway through the season. After this race, we're halfway through the season. Now, I'd say halfway. Technically, our last race is, 4 courses and 2. But
200 points up for grabs at that event.
This is our 5th race of 10. So, yeah, we're halfway through the season now. Again, we got our big summer break done, so that was kind of nice. Well, that was a little bit longer than normally have. Normally, it's about a month and a half. This is almost quite 2 months, so kind of nice to get out there and have a little time off, get the buggies repaired, and
it was like 2.5 months this time.
Yeah,
it was a lot.
Sometime in April was our last one at Hot Springs.
Work in the vacations and have time for fun activities.
Yeah, you told us that you have been racing other events and stuff over our series break. So tell us a little bit about those events that you've been to.
Let's see, we had, I don't know if it was 1 or 2 events for the Outlaw Series in between that we did, and then we did a little race not too long ago at Indian Mountain, which isn't too far from home, that we did. And
which you won.
Yes.
Don't be shy.
You won the Outlaw one too, right?
Yes.
Where was that
one?
At?
So all right, you raced twice, won twice.
I didn't win the event at Outlaw. I just won the series points chase for Outlaw.
Okay.
And
where was that race?
Blue Holler.
Oh, yeah, okay.
But the Indian Mountain, you actually won that event.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. I try to keep up with my friends and my racers. Even when they're not at our events, I try to keep tabs on them.
Was the Indian Mountain one for the same? What was that for a few years ago when we
the Raptor Cure? No, it's coming up.
Okay.
It's coming. It's not. It's like September maybe, I think.
Okay.
Don't quote me on that. Don't hold me to that.
We did it with
keep track of all the different
Pro Rock. I think Pro Rock and that was during COVID. Pro Rock and Ultra 4 or Pro Rock and SRS got together and did a Ride for the Cure. Pro Rock and Natural Rock Racing Station all did a big event together. So.
Yeah.
So it was kind of neat to see everybody get together and do a big event. It was kind of fun. They also had barbie Jeep racing and a couple other activities I think that I got to watch a little bit of.
Was it for points that year? Or was it just
that was.
It was a points race for y'all, wasn't
but
it?
Only because we had to cancel, I think, one race earlier because of COVID. We had to shift some stuff around.
I was at that event. I didn't know if I was just watching.
Oh, you were just watching?
I was there for that.
Okay. Had you raced with us before that event?
No, I had never raced with y'all before that event.
You just showed up and said, I haven't watched these guys. And then
I've been coming. Like 2021 with us.
Yeah.
Like 1 or 2 races?
It was a year that Wade had the rental for he was last year.
Yeah, but you only raced like 1 or 2, right?
Before then, yes.
Yeah, and then 22 last year you did the whole season.
The whole season, yes. But I had been.
So 2020, we just came out and watched us.
Yeah. Well, I've been watching. I was born in 01. I was going to Grey Rock in a booster seat probably when I was 4 or 5.
Okay.
I mean, I remember when we raced at Everybody else raced at Grey Rock on Cable Hill. Back when they did Benson then.
Yep.
I remember all that as a kid.
Yep.
So I've been following the sport for a long time. I just ain't never raced.
And now you're out here winning.
Shoot. Doing all I can do to win.
Out here putting it down.
Speaking of, guys, we are very close to having DC Thompson recovered off the course. That's what we're waiting on right now. And then we're going to get back to it. My running order got a little out of whack here, but we should have Dan Carter, Cooper Bentley, Madison King, Robert Trainer, Casey Howell, I don't think Tyler Bradley's here, Mark Carpenter, and Josh Kaprinski still to go. So we've got quite the lineup.
I think DC just went when he wanted to win.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Dylan Patton from D-Pat's Photography jumping in there. I know he's been doing a bunch of media stuff with Paul Wolf this year.
They're doing some cool stuff out there with that.
They do. I seen their jump. Did you see the jump over the big truck the other day through the ravine? It looked pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
It was. Again, Paul, I think, likes doing that stuff too. I think him and D-Pat, I'm sure, are having
I feel like, that'd be a blast to just get out there and do.
Him and Dylan, I'm sure, are having a lot of fun together.
Oh, yeah.
Dan the Man Carter pulling up there.
I see a whole lot of pink out there right now. Dan Carter on the line.
Maybe he can keep the radius rods from breaking this time on this run.
Yeah.
I'm still impressed he finished in the stock class.
I didn't even see where that happened.
Yeah, it had to be earlier.
Right over the rock. As soon as he went to
the top
the
of the hill?
Yeah, he went to the left of the big rock, and it broke in that.
It had to have been right after he took off.
Yeah, I mean, it was right through there, actually, it broke.
Yeah, I can't believe it hung on.
Right at the top. I don't know how it did.
Unless he just came down it real hard and jarred the wheel over.
It hit probably right in there's a little hole about right there where his right front tire is.
Oh, yeah,
and it hit something right there. And she broke. If y'all watched Texas last year, I compared this to be worse than Texas last year.
You think it's worse than Texas?
Yeah, because Texas, you had a bunch of dirt, road kind of gap in between.
Yeah.
And this is one solid rock garden.
This is like AOP to me.
I agree.
AOP is fun.
We drove 10 hours just for it to be in our backyard. But this is the amazing part, though.
Oh, yeah.
Really.
Justin Wills and his crew got here yesterday morning.
We came down Sunday, actually.
They were all out riding around and goofing off. And
yeah.
Did you guys go trail riding at all?
No, we went to Snowshoe Mountain.
Okay.
Which is about 2 hours from here, and went out and did a little adventuring.
Okay.
Oh.
The panel is coming off.
Yeah, it looked like it's getting a little flappy there.
He's deployed flaps.
Yeah.
He needs to put that in. We need some aerodynamics working here. We got some wind restrictions. I bet he's getting covered off of that thing, too.
I bet. That
I just saw him rip a tear off.
I said, I bet that mud, when he hit that mud, just sprayed him. Does he have a hood ornament on that thing?
Yeah.
What's on the hood ornament?
Oh, that's a Cadillac emblem.
Okay. It kind of looked like that.
Noticed that.
Y'all never noticed the Cadillac emblem?
No, I don't think I have.
They did it because it's so long, like the old school Cadillac cars. I think that's why they did that. We'll go with that. Sounds good.
It sounds good.
He'll correct me, I'm sure.
Yeah.
If it's wrong.
But he'll do it in the politest way possible.
Yes. I love
he would.
Dan.
I do too. Just such a nice guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is.
Rolls Royce?
Yeah, I don't know what a Rolls Royce is.
It's a very, very nice car.
Oh.
Jay-Z has one, but he gets driven around in it.
Luxury,
Jay-Z, the rapper?
I don't know who that is.
Rapper?
Yeah, sure.
Beyonce's husband?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. He has one, but Rolls Royce isn't the kind of car you drive.
It's a
you
very
get
expensive
driven.
luxury.
So which one do you get driven in?
When you open the door, there's an umbrella that pops out so they can hold it for you while you get out of the car.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
I think Matt's phone is a bunch of crap.
No, bro. I tell you. My dad owned a car dealership. I know a lot about cars.
Your dad owned a car dealership?
Yep, two of them and a finance company.
Then why do you have problems getting here? Why can't you find a vehicle?
I got a nice vehicle. I got a brand new.
He's got 18 vehicles. I told him to sell them all and buy a good tow truck.
One, yeah.
I got like 24, but.
Hey, he corrected us 24.
179.584 for Dan Carter.
I'm driving a brand new truck right now, bro.
What are you driving, bro?
2023 Ford F-250 double cab, diesel, 10-speed.
Is it yours?
I don't like 10 speed. He never drives anything as he is ever.
I lease it. I've been leasing one all year.
Cooper Bentley on the line.
It's way better, bro. I don't have to worry about nothing. Anything
Cooper
breaks,
got
I just call
second
him.
place when we were at Hot Springs for our last race.
Okay. DC's coming up here. We got to chat with him.
Snap.
You want right here? I know you got mad.
Oh, we could tell.
Oh, I know you did. You did like 4 donuts up here for no reason. What you doing? It's slick. Oh my gosh, slick. What all that break?
I want to interview him real quick.
Well, fine then.
Okay.
Dylan, it is really cool out here. We are definitely
Clay
enjoying
Kaysen
it. We
sitting
miss
there.
having it
Brandon
out
Davis
here.
coming in second. Dan Carter sitting at third with that run he just finished. Nathan King sitting in fourth. And then Cody and DC both ended up with the DNFs. And speaking of being in the booth, we got DC up here with us. So what happened, buddy?
Well,
just so you know, you were behind a giant rock whenever you broke, so we couldn't even see it.
Well, y'all go ahead. Y'all go ahead. Watch Cooper. You go ahead.
Maybe you can give us some pointers as he's ripping through here. Again, Cooper upgraded to a big bouncer, but he's also still banging around the side-by-side. We've seen a couple guys kind of go a little farther right. We've seen some guys go left.
Cooper made it look easy.
Nice and smooth.
He did. He must have been watching Cody because Clay Kaysen went up and got hung up, and then Cody kind of took almost the same line that Cooper just took.
No, you switched that.
Well, see,
Cody got hung up.
I put more tire balls in my tires, and I usually run 16 balls, and now I have 19.
Okay.
And my tires are a little firm, and I couldn't get any traction.
Really?
It was just like ice. So
that's funny because Clay was sitting here, said the same thing. He said it was like ice up there between the mud getting on there when they got wet. He said once that water hits the rock, he said it's like ice. You can't really get traction.
How did you rip the trailing arm off, though?
Well, see, I got mad, and I was just like, well, I'm going to hold it.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, and it broke the trailing arm at where the tabs meet, and broke some more stuff. Broke the radius rod, broke the axle, ripped the brake line off. Luckily, my shock didn't break, but everything else is broken.
Dang, DC, and we couldn't see any of it.
Yeah.
We didn't know what was going on.
Again, you built that chassis last
2 years ago.
2 years ago, okay.
You're always saying new chassis. It's not new.
Well, it's a year and a half old. You were about right here when you broke, right there, so we couldn't really quite see you.
Yeah.
Is everything fixable?
No, I didn't bring any parts.
Okay.
I mean, I need a trailing arm, radius rods, axle, brake line.
Hang on.
And Cooper's got a good run going. The time to beat right now is 1:23 from Clay. And then Brandon Davis is in second right now with a 1:38. Ooh.
Wow, 1:15.716, and that is our new leader right there.
New leader, wow.
Cooper Bentley, again, flying through there.
All right, so that means Cooper in the lead with a 1:15, then Clay with a 1:23, Brandon with a 1:38, Dan Carter with a 1:79, Nathan King with a 3:03.
Wow.
Nathan got hung up and turtled for a while, so close to the finish line. I'm sure that was very frustrating for him, but he did finish. So we got Madison King now on the line. I wonder if Clay gave her the fist bump like he was supposed to from Jack.
Again, a lot of the tabs and stuff you can probably weld back together.
Yeah.
Once you get back to the shop, getting apart, you can probably weld some of that stuff back together again.
Yeah. It's going to be fun getting it from the trailer to the shop.
Yeah. Have to drag it in.
Yeah. I got a big roll-around cart I can put it on.
Yeah.
Winch it in the shop.
Might be able to put a jack on the back of it, use the front end just to crawl it in. Getting Madison King, that pink rig, it's hard to miss
She's
anywhere out here.
Up and around that, the big slippery rock that we've seen a lot of trouble with today. She said, "I'm not even messing with that."
I'm sure she would. I'm sure Nathan went over and gave her some pointers after his run, and and said, here, more here, less here, after he got hung up and kind of sent it a little bit.
It's been a rough weekend. I think my turbo went out on my truck on the way here yesterday.
Really?
Oh, DC.
You start, your mileage starts just dropping real fast?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go from 12 miles a gallon to about 6.
Well, yeah, just the temperatures you're running at pulling these heels.
Oh, yeah.
It skyrocketed. I didn't have any power.
But you got the banners here.
Yeah.
Yeah. I heard you were. Yeah.
Yes. Big shout out for all the flags that got left at the shop in Mississippi, and DC.
DC saving the day.
Well, I only live like 5 minutes from there, so it was easy enough. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh.
Looking good for Madison
Coming
King.
through that field out there fast is kind of.
You could see him just like
it's iffy. You're like, am I going to hit this
That's
rock?
what Clay said. Of course, the perspective is always off in person versus on camera.
The off camera of the field, and it's wet. It's like ice out there. You're just like pointing and just.
And he said that those 2 rocks you have to go between.
He said
those are a lot closer than they look on camera.
He said, I feel like it's 6 inches. He said, you get off a little bit. He said, it's not going to end well, Which you can't really portray that on camera, so.
Camera never does it justice. If you've never been to a race in person, everybody, just trust us.
Yes.
Oh. What happened to front end there?
The good news is this part here isn't too rough uphill, and then hopefully she can kind of bounce it through there downhill.
Yeah.
That's really not good.
Axle?
She's definitely sending it. I don't even see the. Yeah, I don't even see the.
Their passenger side's.
Yeah.
Moving.
Well, she can always get out like Jay and try to push.
Yeah. We've seen that a few times today. Guys get out and try to push the rig over. Or
Does she have a radio in there?
Yeah.
Go, go, go.
She was talking to her dad earlier, and she's like, can you talk to Nathan? Are you talking to him? Tell him to go around the big rock instead of wasting time. And he's like, he don't want me to talk to him.
That front tire looks almost in a rut or something there. Man.
Lost an axle.
Yeah, it looks like both rear tires are turning, but just not enough traction to get it over those ledges.
She's got Nathan up there trying to point the way for her.
Dude, I was so mad coming through there.
Well, you could see the first time you kind of were trying to be it safe, kind of play it smart, got hung up, kind of came back around. Second time, you were like bobbling a little bit, came back around. Third time, you just started going, wah! You heard Clyde on the radio. Clyde goes, yeah, he's really mad. And then you could see how fast you came around and hit that wide open section. I was like, yeah, he's probably not real happy. Yeah. Yeah, it's.
Oh.
Bubba Bacon's the same way. He'll usually hit it like once or twice, kind of nice and gentle, like trying to be calculated and make sure everything's doing right. Third time, just everybody get out of the way. Everybody get out of the way.
Well, I possibly could have made it, but I cheaped out and I stopped by the store and got gas station E85, and my buggy just does not like it.
So you're a turbo. So the turbo versus race fuel. I mean, what is the difference there? Do you see a performance difference?
Oh, big time. Between like gas station 85 and race E85? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, big difference. Wow.
Most of the time, if I mix the two together, like gas station E85 and race fuel like VP,
yeah,
it'll run decent. But if I just use gas station E85, it'll pop and backfire. And
really?
Won't hardly idle.
So there is a big difference then.
Yeah. And I'll test it too. Like, I'll make sure it's at least 80%.
Oh, so you test it at the gas pump?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
You just get a little tester, a little tube tester, and you mix water with the 85 and shake it up, and it'll separate and tell you your percentage.
So, just for viewer knowledge and mine as well, what is most of the time when you're getting the 85? What is the octane of that?
Man, it just depends. Like, each store is different.
Really?
Like sometimes I'll go to 4 or 5 different stores before I'll find, and then I might backtrack and go to the one that was highest.
Really? What's the variance you'll see?
It's anywhere from 60 to 85, 80, 90. Sometimes 90 if you're in a good area, like out west, like Midwest, Oklahoma area, they got better E85 out there than down here.
More water out here, probably.
No, it's just the octane in it. I mean,
okay.
Because the car is going to run on it anyway.
Okay,
know?
The car will still run; it just won't run as well.
Yeah.
Okay. So from 70 to 90, that's a big difference.
Like if your VP is like 100, and so you can mix the 100 with the gas station and like 50-50, and it will still equal 100 because the VP is so strong.
Oh wow!
And then it'll run good. You know? But if you just straight gas station 85, it'll backfire. It won't hardly idle.
What's the VP cost versus the gas station cost? Are they pretty similar or no?
No. The VP, a 5-gallon jug of it's like $120.
Wow.
And then the gas station's like a couple dollars.
Yeah. So big, huge difference.
Oh, yeah.
But again, it's interesting that you see that much of a performance difference out of it.
You can like E85 and just like 110 race fuel, you can big difference in it.
Really?
E85 stout.
So that you notice that much of a difference with the ethanol?
Yeah.
Wow.
You can feel it in your seat.
Really?
First 110.
So we were talking with Ryan Brumhall, the Hulk buggy, which we haven't seen out here in a while, and he was saying when he went to his engine tuner was telling him that, and he's like, nah, I'm running Acewell, blah, blah, blah. And he said, let me do just one test. And he said, they drained all the fuel out, put E85. And he said,
big difference.
He said, I could not believe the difference it made.
Yep. You can actually, from 110 or 114 or whatever you want to run to E85, you can feel it in the seat of your pants. It pulls way harder.
He said there was 2 things they did kind of weird. One was they gapped the spark plugs bigger so that it's like a longer burn because that pushes more power out rather than just a violent explosion. And then there was one other thing they did different that was kind of a tweak thing. And he said we ended up making like 20 or 30% more power. Yep. Same exact motor. All we did was change fuels, gap the spark plugs, and there was something else that maybe pulled some timing out or something. And he said we made like 20 or 30% more power with the exact same setup.
Yep.
He said I kind of sold me. He ended up going with Ignite, which sponsored the series for a while. And that's what they ran, just because he said that they were sponsoring the series at the time. So, it's kind of crazy to think that there's that much of a difference between it, But especially in the side-by-sides, you can tell some of the guys who you can pull up to the line who have, crackling and popping. And sometimes, not today, obviously, but we've had times before where guys just, they're on the side of a hill trying to move up the hill and they just won't climb it. You hear it, just having all kinds of issues. It sounds like some type of fuel delivery problem.
That's usually from the first couple of races because everybody's buggy's been sitting all winter.
Yeah. It's always interesting to see some of the guys who have issues and then find out later on what the issue was. But it's kind of fascinating to think there's that much of a difference in just the quality of fuel.
Oh yeah.
I mean, both are E85. It's just different manufacturers, and there's that vast of a quality between the two manufacturers.
It depends on the winter, spring, fall, summer too. I mean,
really,
it'll vary between seasons.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Speedway's usually got good E85.
Speedway? Yeah.
Everybody from Memphis goes to Jackson. They're off of Christmasville Road as you're going through Jackson, Tennessee.
Yeah.
And they'll run up there and get E85 and come back while the drag racing and stuff.
Oh, your drag race guys. Yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah.
Just the quality up there is better than what we got around Memphis.
Yeah. And I'm sure once that gas station gets known for that, that's where a lot of people guys are going to go too. So. Okay, we got Madison King down there. Looked like she broke something in the front end. This is our leaderboard here. We got Cooper Bentley again making that blistering run we just saw right before Madison at 115. Clay Kaysen at 123. Brandon Davis 138. He was coming back down with a spare tire a minute ago that he lost, so he may be changing a tire. Dan Carter 179. Nathan King at 303. Cody Kaysen again had it up with that DNF. He was trying to get it put back on all four wheels, couldn't quite do it. DC here with us in the booth ended up breaking a handful of parts, it sounds like. And then Madison King, again, right there on screen, who you're watching, trying to get recovered. Looks like there's a few of them out there. Her brother giving her some pointers.
I was waiting on it.
Yeah?
Yeah. When I was like, took off for the third time, I was like, yeah, we'll see how long this is going to hold together.
You're just doing circles down there.
Yeah. Yeah. Clyde goes, he's mad. He just said it so calm. I was like, yeah. And you could hear it because the first time you're like kind of putting around a little bit. The third time you're just like wide open throttle. Wah, wah, wah. So, yeah. We'll see how long this holds together.
Yeah.
Again, for those of you tuning in right now, we're at Canvas, West Virginia. Good Evening Ranch. We're about halfway through our first course of the day. We have, right now we're doing the UTV Cup Series. We had UTV stock class this morning. We have the VIN class yet to go today. So we have a good chunk of the racing done, but we're still got quite a ways to go today.
We still have Robert Trainer, Casey Howell, Mark Carpenter, and Josh Krapinski in our UTV Cup class, round 1 that we're on right now. And then after that, we'll go to our VIN class. And then we're back for round 2 for everybody all over again. So,
yes,
yeah, like
start
Matt
all over
said,
again.
still got lots of racing to go on today here at Good Evening Ranch in West Virginia. We're enjoying some beautiful weather.
Wow, yeah, you can see parts hanging down from there. That's not good. Again, I had talked to Taylor when they got here, I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday morning, and I was talking about the course, so what's going to be like. He said rocks, lots of rocks. He said it's going to be, you're going to see drive shafts, A-arms, trailing arms, axle shafts. For the rock bouncer guys, you'll see axle shafts, you'll see drive shafts. He said, I think there'll be, probably some bent rims. He said you'll see some flat tires.
Robert here said he's wanting to buy my chassis.
Yeah?
Yeah, he said he can't see out of his. The sides are so high, he can't see nothing. Can't see his front tires.
Yeah. Yeah, chassis design plays a big role in, obviously the more visibility you have, the faster you can go.
Oh, you can see the ground in front, like that your tires are on in my bike.
Really?
What? Yes, speaking of Robert Trainer, we need to announce our Skinny Pedal Award winner.
Oh, making quick work of that hill. Or that rock, I mean.
Round 3 at Wildcat.
Did he get it?
And it was Robert Trainer. So if you guys didn't vote or didn't get to see that video or remember what all our Skinny Pedal nominees were from Wildcat, you can go back and watch that. It was posted not too long ago on our Facebook pages. And, yeah, Robert's going to be taking home one of those, and our YouTube channels, and Robert's going to be taking home, speaking of YouTube, one of the cool trophies that Jonathan Shepard made for us. Had the YouTube hero on there.
Very cool trophies.
I went over that section wide
really
open.
Cool.
Yeah, you could tell some of the guys were banging through those rocks pretty hard. Robert doing a great job here, making pretty quick work of that rock section. And I like how we were also kind of making jokes about some of the guys that get out there, hit this big section, the adrenaline's pumping, you're racing fast. Then you're going to come back into this, hitting the jump, coming back into this slow section of rocks where you kind of have to back off a little bit. So,
well, hey, no matter how today goes for Robert, he's still taking home a trophy, at least, from Skinny Pedal. So, speaking of, we do need to conclude our voting this evening for our Hot Springs race, Skinny Pedal round number 4. So if you haven't voted and gone to watch that video yet, y'all make sure you do it before midnight tonight. Go to the website and you can and you can cast your vote, watch that video there, and we will announce that winner tomorrow. If you haven't done that before and you're wondering how to get to it, head to nationalrockracing.com and you can just search Skinny Pedal in the search bar, and that'll take you to, you can watch the video compilation of our nominees from the Hot Springs race, and then you just click on the name you want to vote for. And somebody else can be taking home one of those cool Skinny Pedal trophies. DC, you gonna get one of those one of these days?
DC's probably earned a few over the years before he had them. I've seen you bicycle in the front. I've seen you do wheelies through courses. I've seen your buggy do all kinds of things that they shouldn't be able to do, but yet somehow it happens.
Defying physics.
Yes.
What happened to Robert Trainer out here? He didn't hit that tree very hard.
I didn't think so, but he must have hit it just the right spot.
It's not a very big one.
Oh.
From hitting that tree?
Yeah.
They say he broke the U-joint on the steering shaft.
Yeah. Maybe they'll see if they can't get him fixed. Man, we have seen all kinds of carnage today.
I thought he said pinion shaft.
Pinion shaft?
I know, this would be a diff or the actual steering.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Luckily, we have some guys on course that are pretty good about. They can at least tell us usually, like, hey, it's an axle shaft, it's a gearbox, it's a drive shaft. Because a lot of times, again, from our view, we can be like, yeah, he's broke, but we don't know what it is. Luckily, we have some pretty knowledgeable people on course.
Half the buggies behind the rocks
out
here.
Yeah.
Like,
they're out there kicking tires.
He's not moving, but we can't see what's happening. Yeah, they're trying to get his tire to turn there for him. Aw, man.
Well,
it's especially sad after you've already made it through all the hard stuff out into the field and you're back in so close to the end, as you well know.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I've like broke right at the end many times.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
Remember when my gas pedal broke?
I do.
15
feet from tires burn.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Like 15 feet from the stop line.
All right, guys, it looks like it might take them a second to help Robert get off the hill here. We are going to let you guys watch some of these wonderful commercials, and then we'll be right back.
Peace.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerply XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
What you want? No matter where your ride takes you. Whether it's a quick trip or a slow climb. When you choose RCV Performance Axles, you're guaranteed to finish every time.
Presenting the all-new designs from Treadwear Apparel in 2021. Visions are better at the top. More throttle than brake, more balls than brains. If you're gonna win, you're gonna need these. Life is better topless. The NRRA official flag shirts. Real trucks don't have spark plugs. No guts, no glory. Definitely no story. Your girlfriend likes it when I bouncer. Grab yourself some new merch today.
What you want? No matter where your ride takes you. Whether it's a quick trip or a slow climb. When you choose RCV Performance Axles, you're guaranteed to finish every time.
The Mickey Thompson Premium Mud Terrain is on the road and full of undisputed attitude. The Baja Boss MT. No compromises, ever. We are purpose-built tires for truck and Jeep enthusiasts everywhere. All mud tires are not created equal, and here's the proof. Powerfly XD construction, asymmetrical tread design, extreme side biters, and more. Find your tire size today at MickeyThompsonTires.com.
And we got Casey Howe sitting in line down here. Finally got Madison King off the course.
Casey Howe is sitting third in points overall right now for the RCV Axle Unlimited class.
Oh.
Right behind Brandon and Clay. That's for overall points.
We've had a ton of DNFs. Again, when I was talking to Taylor about the course when they were out here kind of marking it all up, putting flags up and putting tape up, and he said, well, there's a lot of rocks, and he goes, my prediction is there's going to be a lot of carnage. And you know what? That is exactly what we have seen here in the Side-by-Side Cup Series. We have seen a lot of carnage.
Anytime you throw rocks, mud, and horsepower together in the same equation, sometimes the points can't.
Yeah.
But we've also had some really great runs out here today, too. Casey making his way. He made it through that first rough spot of the course. Flying out through that fun, fast section now, up and over that RCV ramp.
I like that last shot. It showed how big the valley really is down here. Again, making quick work of this huge open loop here. Gives a little bit of time for guys to clean their tires out. Clean their tires out. Get some high-speed section in. Feel the wind blowing through their hair, if you will, and then come back down, slow back down, and be able to pace yourself heading through those rocks. That really makes a big difference, and you're going to see some of these guys do it very well, and some of the guys maybe not transition as well as we'd hope for. So, again, to see how Casey Howe's doing here. Again, this is our UTV Cup Series. We have VIN class racing right after this, and then that will conduct the first course of the day. And then we're going to shut down, take a quick intermission, and start the whole thing over again.
Do you like it? the stickers on my water bottle.
Me and Justin Wills were at Walmart this morning. I asked several Walmart workers, do you have a West Virginia sticker, magnet, keychain? Nope.
Oh, I would have gotten you one if I'd known. 155.744.
Get an awesome time.
That was for Casey Howell. Currently, Cooper Bentley is still hanging on to the lead with a 115. And then Clay Kaysen with a 123 and Brandon Davis with a 138. Those are your top three right now. Course 1 for the RCB Axle UTV Cup class. We've got 2 drivers still to go, Mark Carpenter and Josh Kropinski. And then, like Matt said, we're going to move on to our VIN class, take a short break, and then we'll be back for round 2 for everybody. Tomorrow, as usual, we've got our UTV Bounty class, our Digging Deeper UTV Youth class, and then, of course, the Branik Motorsports Bouncer class.
Which will be happening right behind us. And you can see some of the fans sitting there behind the starting line. Everybody packed in there, got their easy ups, but again, like Bree was saying earlier today, it is beautiful weather right now. I always say it's 65 and sunny, just because that's always like a perfect temperature. Right now, it actually feels 65 and sunny right now with a light breeze.
I'm going to say 70,
mid-70s.
Low 70s, yeah, with a little breeze, a little sun. No humidity. Hallelujah.
All right. They said we got Mark Carpenter on the line. Carpenter.
We got Jed Harper tuning in.
What's up, Jed? He's a Southern Illinois guy.
Uh-oh. Okay. He's just making his turn here. Make sure you guys are watching on that Rock Racing TV Facebook page so we can see your comments, answer your questions, and interact with everybody. That's where Matt and I watch from, that Rock Racing TV page, not our National Rock Racing Series page. If you want to check out our schedule of events for the rest of the season, we have 5 races left after today, and you can go to nationalrockracing.com. You can look at our events, and you can also go vote for our Skinny Pedal award from the Hot Springs race. That is live right now. Voting will end tonight. So if you haven't done it yet, you can head to the website, just search Skinny Pedal, and it'll take you to that poll. You can watch the compilation video of our Skinny Pedal nominees and cast your vote. And we'll be giving out that, or we'll be announcing the winner for that tomorrow. And then Robert Trainer is taking home one of our cool Skinny Pedal trophies today from round 3 race at Wildcat.
They are massive trophies. I had to pick one up, and I was like, "Holy cow!"
They're like the best like shop decorations that you can have. I think. Shout out to Jonathan Shepard with Skinny Pedal Fab, of course, for partnering with us on that reward last season and this season, and making all those awesome trophies that the drivers get to take home. You know, we kind of joke about it because winning a Skinny Pedal award obviously means something probably went a little bit wrong in your run, and you really showed out and probably weren't intending to. But that's kind of part of the sport, too, is putting on a show for the audience and for all the spectators and everyone that comes or that watches. So, yeah, it's just kind of part of it.
Yeah, it's one of those awards, like, it's cool to win it.
And if it's going to happen, you might as well get a trophy for it.
It is. It's cool to win it, but it's not one you want to win because usually, like you said, things did not go according to plan. Speaking of Jonathan Shepard, the lines on the side-by-side kind of look like his lines on his buggy.
A little bit. 142.867. That was Mark Carpenter with a nice smooth run. That means Josh Kropinski should be wrapping up round 1 for the RCB Axle Unlimited class. Jed Harper said he's stuck at work. I guess it is a Friday. Sometimes I forget on race days.
Yeah.
People do still have to work. Well, Jed, I'm glad you still got to join us here on Hillside Live for a little while.
This is Josh Krapinski. Again, I believe this is going to wrap up our UTV UTV Bounty Series, or I'm sorry,
Cup class.
UTV Cup class.
There you go. Oh no!
Wow.
Oh, just exactly where Cody Kaysen landed earlier. All right,
he's like, we're good.
We got that thumbs up. They just got to get him turned over now. Oh man, hate to see that for anybody that makes the drive, makes the commitment, takes the time to come out here. You know, you heard, if you were listening earlier, DC and Matt were talking about gas and
yes.
and just the prices and the variance on that, and you know, buying fuel, hotel rooms, food, maybe if you're taking time off work, doing traveling, it takes a lot to commit, and especially to commit regularly and come
yes.
to all these races. So, yeah, we definitely hate to see that for anybody that comes out, and hopefully everyone will be back for round 2. Well, except for maybe DC.
Yeah.
In a little while, and get another go at this hill. So there's always that, at least.
So it looks like they have quite a few guys that recover it, but all right, we're going to get cut to a replay. Again, coming out the gate strong. You can see how kind of hard that's bumping up against there. And again, taking that same line, we've seen several side-by-side drivers take. And again, unfortunately falling over right into that crevice. Very similar to going all the way completely upside down, similar to what Cody Kaysen did. Again, had the same line that Cody and Cooper Bentley had taken. So again, just unable to kind of make that transition from that smooth rock to that rough surface. Ended up turning it over upside down. Hate to see that for Josh. Again, obviously had a pretty smooth run going up until then. But you can see all the other side-by-side drivers down there helping him get it all flipped over. And
Taylor, do we have a leaderboard we can toss up there before we close out round 1 for the Cup class?
There we go. Got Cooper Bentley sitting at 115, Clay Kaysen 123, Brandon Davis 138, Mark Carpenter at 142, Casey Howe at 155, Dan Carter 179, Nathan King 203, and we had about 5 DNFs, I think. And again, that's going to wrap up your UTV Cup Series. Again, sitting right there waiting to go, I'm sure, is our VIN class. Today especially is kind of exciting for our VIN because we have a new VIN driver racing with today. You guys saw that interview this morning.
Are we ready to go right into VIN, or do we have time to play that interview? Yes. Can we throw that up before she goes? All right, we're going to let them finish recovering Josh on the hill, and since we're about to watch her run in the VIN class, here's a little interview with Gatlin Wheels.
What's up, everybody? I am here with Gatlin Wheels, of course, my co-host Matt, and we are at Good Evening Ranch in West Virginia, and we pulled Gatlin aside for a minute to talk a little bit about what's new with her. We just came back from our mid-season break, and Gatlin is switching up to a new class. She's been racing in the youth class with us for like a year and a half, and you are moving on to the VIN class. Today is going to be your first time racing. Tell us about that and whatever you want to share with everybody.
I mean, I'm really nervous because I've never. So the first time I drove the Jeep was Wednesday.
Oh,
off the trailer.
Today's Friday.
And I drove it all day yesterday to Thursday. And I did the old VIN course that I like 5 sets from here.
Yeah.
And then
just practice.
Yeah. And then it got changed up. So I had to do all that today. So it was a little bit nerve-wracking.
Yeah. Is it a lot to remember? It's obviously going from the youth class to one of the other classes. The courses get a little longer and a little more complicated. Is that an issue for you?
Not really. Like, so this one is like, I think it's like almost 25% rock and then 75% open field. So it's not too bad. So,
yeah, you guys can obviously see there's a lot of rock in this section, but like she said, there is also an open area out there that you'll hopefully get a little speed up.
Yeah.
I heard there's some little ramp areas. Yeah, I haven't really made it down that way yet, but well, cool. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're excited to watch you.
You got to practice a little bit yesterday. How did it feel yesterday, being here, being in the rocks? Your dad said you guys thrashed around quite a bit. How'd the buggy feel, and how'd the Jeep feel, and What was your feeling compared to the smaller side-by-side?
So the 170, it's kind of, the suspension's like really hard on it. And so whenever I got into the Jeep, it was smoother than I honestly expected.
Okay.
But I really didn't feel many of the rocks.
Okay.
So it felt pretty good.
I said you're navigating the terrain pretty well this morning coming out here. We saw you guys have a little fun.
Now, you just turned 13? Soon, about to be 13. So you're obviously not spending a lot of time. You haven't driven out on the road. You're not close to getting your license yet. So what does it feel like being in a Jeep or if you drive home, like around your house? How's that?
So I can only drive the 170 around the house because my mom gets mad if I get the car too much.
My mom would too.
Yes.
So she doesn't want me to drive the Jeep around because it rains a lot around here.
So this is your chance.
Yeah.
This is your big chance.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're excited for you. We're about to get things going here at Good Evening Ranch. We're about to kick off a whole weekend of racing. So you guys stay tuned.
We'll see you guys. All right, we are back. And again, if you enjoyed that teaser of our Rock Racing TV Skinny Pedal, you need to go and to the website, watch all the videos. Again,
that was just the teaser. That wasn't the full compilation video.
Yes, that was just a teaser. All the drivers did great. I have to say, I don't know if it's because it was the last run of the day, and I was just happy to be done with the day because I had messed up my bouncer, or Jack really sent it that hard. But he was backing up into like the crowd, running like a few miles, and then hitting the hill, and because he was front wheel drive only, and obviously you need you need 4-wheel drive to make that hill. So he kind of made the joke, I'm going to send it, and I was like, okay.
He sent it all right. So y'all send yourselves on over to nationalrockracing.com. You can watch the compilation, the full video, and jog your memory on what everybody did and cast your vote. And that'll close tonight, and we'll announce that tomorrow. Right now, we are ready to head into the VIN class, Course 1. We've got Charles Curtis, Don Curtis, Gatlin Wills, and Justin Hoback on the list here. Is Don here?
So I heard shortly after we did our pre-show that Don was not going to make it.
Okay, I was saying I did not think that I saw him here.
And I would say that's just, again, I hear all kinds of good rumors through the old interwebs, but I haven't seen him here yet either.
Yeah, I hadn't seen him at the driver's meeting.
And he is usually a guy you cannot miss. He will catch up, find up, say hi. He'll come over, very friendly guy, come over and hang out, goof off. So.
All right, Charles Caris going to start things off. Round 1 for the VIN class. Charles is sitting first in points overall for the season right now with 365, and he also came first in our last race at Hot Springs. Been a good season so far for Charles.
He the back of that Cherokee used to be pretty wobbly. It got to be pretty bad, so then he started welding a cage in the back of it just to kind of help keep the back section more together. So a little bit better than it used to be. Again, he absolutely thrashes on this Cherokee. Has a lot of fun with it, takes it out and trail rides it. Started racing VIN class with it middle of last year probably. And it's just absolutely had a blast with it. Does very well. Usually ends up on the podium somewhere. Charles Chris also owns High Octane Film, so he's one of our film guys out here usually doing video for us, so we appreciate him and all he does for our series, and the racers and the fans obviously appreciate it.
You guys make sure to go check him out on Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah.
Check out his videos.
I do a lot with YouTube, so I usually see his the High Octane stuff on YouTube. And he doesn't just do rock bouncing events. I've seen like tractor pulls on there. I've seen mud drags and mud bogs. So he does a little bit of everything. If it's some type of off-road sport.
All the horsepowers.
Yeah, if it's an off-road sport, he'll go film it,
We have Don Curtis actually checking in online right now. Let me get that time for Charles first. We had a 74.143 for Charles, our first driver in the VIN class for round 1. Don Curtis says he wasn't able to make this trip, but planning to be back at Hawk Pride. Yeah, and that's just in a few short weeks.
Yeah.
Our next race will be Hawk Pride in Tuscumbia, Alabama, August 4th and 5th.
Again, Don Curtis, hard guy to miss. Usually he has the biggest race car at our events, both widest and tallest, so it's hard to miss his race car. He runs a full-body Chevy and just absolutely sends it every time he takes it out, so he just beats the tar out of that thing, does a great job, and definitely a testament to all the parts he has on it. So he does a great job. Love seeing that big rig out, especially when he's running Easton against a bunch of small, nimble Jeeps. It's always fun to see that big bag, full-body Chevy, old school. It's always a lot of fun to watch him go out there and bang around on it.
Speaking of Jeeps, we've got Miss Gatlin Wills in her first VIN class race.
She is 12 years old, getting ready to turn 13.
It's kind of funny to me to see a 13-year-old driving, like, something that could be on the road.
Yes.
Like, no license or anything yet, but she's driving this Jeep. It's different when they're in, like, a 200
yes.
or even just a Razor. I don't know why it feels a little funny, but I was 12 when I was driving my dad's, I don't know, I think we had a Grand Cherokee.
Yeah?
We had a couple different things over the years around the farm, and I felt so cool driving our Grand Cherokee. And one time I locked the keys in it.
Oh.
I don't think I ever told my parents this, but I had left the sunroof open, fortunately.
Oh, she just climbed in.
So I climbed in the sunroof.
I love it.
And then I didn't have to fess up to my stupid mistake.
Yeah, that's good times. Yeah, so it looks like Gatlin got hung up on a little bit of a tree here, and the same rock I think that she's underneath her is the same rock they got hung up a little bit on qualifying. You see there's a few guys down there trying to help get her pointed out in the right direction again. Gatlin is 12 years old. So for all of you saying, well, I could do better, well, she's 12, okay?
If you missed the interview that we just played with her, she has been racing with us in the youth class for the last season and a half. She started with us. She did all last year with us, and then up until right now, she'd been racing in that this season. So this is a big step up to go from a 170
much bigger step,
to
yes.
a full-size vehicle.
Yeah, licensed, drivable
and again,
vehicle.
Yeah, she's not even old enough to have her driver's license. So definitely a big change for her. She said she hadn't even driven it until, Wednesday, I think, was the first time she drove it, and today's Friday. So,
going over that jump there.
She's doing an awesome job. She's, getting used to it. And
doing a great job.
I know we'll see a lot more from her this season.
Again, just getting out, having fun. She played with it yesterday a little bit, crawling through the rocks, kind of getting a feel for it. But again, being first time ever in a full-size race car, I think she's doing a great job. I'm just surprised that there's not some more pink and green on that thing somewhere. Yeah.
That's really what is puzzling me right now.
Again, this is a TJ Jeep that they race in a 4600 class. They've raced it a couple times. Justin and one of his friends have done podiumed with it before at the Teardown in Tennessee. Over there at AOP, which you're talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. Kind of the same terrain.
AOP in South Pittsburgh, Tennessee is the kind of my home park, I guess.
There's Justin, her dad, running along the vehicle. So I wonder who her co-driver is. Think Daniel's in there with her?
That's true.
Usually her dad has been there with her, so since he decided to stay out, he might be giving her some pointers over the radio. I'll say Daniel Pierman might be in there. Brody Pierman, his son, is one of our youth racers as well.
What is the name?
174.223. Again, good enough for second place.
Awesome job in her first ever VIN class race, Miss Gatlin.
And Tinker, looks like.
Is it called Tinker?
The hood says.
Oh, I couldn't tell.
Again, there's the 4601.
All right, now we've got Justin Hoback in the WT. Its full name is Work Truck.
I have told people that all summer. What's that? That's a W. A WT.
WT. I call it the Work Truck today, and Clara is Justin's daughter. She's like, it's the WT. And I was like, well, what does the WT stand for, though? And she's like, Work Truck. And I'm like, I just called it by its full name like it was in trouble or something.
Yes. Yeah, I got a little bed made back there. Pulled the side-by-sides on. I got a cool little rack on the back. That took some time to make, too. Again, he also uses a support vehicle for us, as well as a runaround vehicle. They bring a motorhome and this and 2 side-by-sides. That 4-seater we saw race earlier.
Actually, 3 now.
3?
Because Collier
that's right.
has his own new little 200 to race in the youth class tomorrow.
Bless Collier. Collier's what, 3?
So he's 4.
4,
now,
okay.
Yeah. So the Hobacks, they are generous enough to let me ride with them to many of our events. They live somewhat close to me in the Nashville area. And, so they're very generous, and I tag along in the RV. And
how far is Murfreesboro from Nashville?
It's 45 minutes to an hour, depending on which side, where you're going exactly. And then, of course, there's the traffic. But they actually live in Lebanon, so for any of my Middle Tennessee people. But, yeah, so I've enjoyed getting to spend time with them and always want to give them a shout-out for, they're here. They're at all the events. Both kids are racing now. Clara started with us last season. Young 4-year-old Collier did his first race with us at Hot Springs earlier
this year. Which was awesome to see.
And, I think he was only I don't even know if he had turned 4 yet then. I can't remember when his birthday is. But
I want to say they said he was 3 when he raced.
I feel like he's had his birthday since then. But so he's got a brand new. Oh, let me get this time. 94.343. That is our fastest time. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's our second place time. I got to read numbers here. Charles Cariz had the fastest time on course 1 for the VIN class with a 74. Then we had Justin Hoback with a 94. And then Miss Gatlin Wheels with a 174. That does conclude the first half of our day of racing. We're going to take a short break, and we will be back in about 25 minutes.
Okay.
So you guys don't go too far, and come back and hang out with us here on Hillside Live for round 2.
We'll see you guys here in a little bit.